is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, this is Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson for three.
And this is your home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Look at the Mets. Look at the Yankees. Actual baseball to discuss. Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York YouTube page where you should be watching and subscribing and liking and all that crap because it's worth doing. This is a visual medium now, and you're welcome for that. Dan Grassa is in today for Bart, and this is what I love about Dan. Moments ago, he stood at a window admiring a parking space for Ray Santiago. And that, if there's nothing that says older white guy than that, I don't know what it is.
Oh, that's racist. That's racist.
It's George Costanza is what that is. Give it to me. Give it to me. Look at the spot.
You don't even want to vacate the spot when you have a good. I mean, you
really
appreciate
don't.
a good parking space, especially in the city.
No, but you were genuinely looking out the window.
Well,
is that Ray's car?
Well,
is that his spot?
It was two things. Number one, because Ray generally doesn't drive in,
right.
So I was trying to get confirmation on that. So that's what surprised me more than anything else. And then, okay, now that I know that he drove in, the fact that he got that spot, I mean, you're not going to get a better spot. Like there are a lot of parking spaces in this city. There's a lot of real estate on the island. I don't know, based upon where we need to be, if you are going to be able to diagram a better spot than the one he just got.
He did it.
He might as well be like, like if the president of the United States was here, like if they had to keep the car waiting outside, that's where the parking spot would be.
Yeah.
And he got it.
Yeah. And so all that was missing was people guarding the parking spot for him.
Correct. And he might even have guards out there that we don't know about. They're like, just like looking through windows that if like a leaf lands on it, boom, they run out and take it off.
All right. So let's just start right away. Freddy Peralta is a Met. All of a sudden, in the last 36 hours, these two teams have actually gotten some things done. First, it's Luis Robert. Then I think one was a direct correlation to the other, where Cody Bellinger ends up staying with the Yankees. That came down right at the end of the show yesterday. And then, as we find out late last night, Freddy Peralta gets traded to the Mets. Listen, they're better. The Mets are better today than they were 2 days ago. I don't know how much better. I don't regard Freddy Peralta as one of the all-time great pitchers or somebody that is locked down. But what I do know is he's going to go out there and he's going to pitch every 5 days. And more times than not, he's going to give you a chance to win. So I can't argue with the idea that the Mets aren't better today.
You feel a little bit better about all the moves. And look, I was as critical as anybody at the beginning of the offseason. And when you just saw guys suddenly become ex-Met after ex-Met after ex-Met, and the Mets weren't really doing anything to add, you're like, okay, how is this getting better? Right? A team that wasn't even good enough last year to make the playoffs. How is this thing going to be better in 2026? Well, as David Stearns and everybody promised, wait till the season starts. And we're not even there yet. We're still a couple of weeks away still from pitchers and catchers. But as a Met fan, you feel a little bit better. And the moves that they made over in the last week, bringing in these guys, Bichette, Luis Robert, and then Freddy Peralta, what it amounts to is they're all essentially, it's one-year deals, right? Because that Bichette's going to opt out after 1 year. That's why you got the two opt-outs. Freddy Peralta's on his walk year. Luis Robert, walk year. So I don't know if these guys are going to be long-term Mets, but you don't concern yourself with that. You're worried about 2026, and if these guys are healthy, and that's the operative word, especially with a guy like Luis Robert, I think when you look at the Mets top to bottom, the lineup versus the team that ended the season in 2025, I think you feel a little bit better about things than the way the year ended a year ago.
I don't know how you can't.
Right?
I don't know how you can't. I'm always bothered by a couple of things. Number one, with Peralta, I get it that David Stearns has a history with him.
Right.
And obviously has a great deal of confidence with him if he is willing to trade away the two prospects that he did in Sproat and Jet Williams. Number one, not getting caught up in the prospect stuff. I refuse to do it anymore. You're not giving away 5 guys in this deal. This is not absurd, huh?
The burgers? Five Guys?
Oh, I love Five Guys.
True story?
Mm.
You're going to hate me. You'll probably make me leave the room. Never had Five Guys. You want me to go? I mean, I'll go. I'll take one for the team. But I'm just being honest with you. Look, I'm not in a position to sit here and lie to you. I don't have any reason to. But I just thought I would offer that up for my services today. I try to steer clear of that stuff. Not that I'm, anti-fast food by any stretch. I mean, I love a good burger as much as anybody. I'll probably be pounding more garbage food during Snowmageddon this weekend than anybody, knows what to do with. Never had Five Guys, though.
I
know. You look at me differently now. And I deserve that.
I'm going to be like an interviewer who just keeps letting the subject bury themselves with every word that they say. I'll stand here and be silent.
Like I said, love a good burger. Just have never found my way into Five Guys.
How?
How? Can't explain it.
How?
Can't explain it.
Joe
Can't explain
it. Joe Leo, I can't be wrong on this. Right? I mean, the word unconscionable comes to mind.
It needs to change as soon as you leave here today.
Well, here's the thing. I'll give you this, and you're probably not even going to like this excuse, but I'm going to provide it anyway. And look, I have as many quirks as probably you do.
You can tell me your dog died in a Five Guys, and that's why you don't go, and I wouldn't care.
First of all, I'm not.
I don't even. All
right. First of all, I'm not blind, as you can see. So why would I bring my dog into Five Guys?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Number two. I think it's the Five Guys in my little surrounding ecosphere.
I was going to say your brother, but a dog felt like a little less aggressive.
No, I don't have a brother. Okay. So,
if I had known that.
So the geography, I think, has also played a role into it. Like, all the ones that are kind of like...
They're everywhere.
I know they're everywhere, but
and I
places,
know where you live, and I can give you 3 within 2 miles right now.
And I don't like going to those type of places, like those particular areas.
Those type of places?
Yeah, those areas in particular.
What the hell does that mean?
The parking... drive, there's a lot going on. So anyway, make a long story short, there's other options that are more conducive to what I'm looking for.
Blue Star Mall. Bang!
That's far.
That's not far.
No, it's far.
From where you live?
Yeah, it's a little far. Do they still have the Arby's there? I heard that closed.
I think they closed it. I just moved back to that area.
Never had Arby's either, by the way.
I can live with that. Reputationally, you would look at Arby's and say, roast beef, not my thing. Didn't even know that they had burgers at Arby's until someone told me recently.
But you're not going there for a burger. You know what I'm saying? Because, Arby's, they have the meats.
They do, but it doesn't look like I want those particular
You know who
meats.
that is in the commercial, right? The voice?
It's, you know what? At first, I thought it was James Earl Jones.
He cashes a nice check.
Yeah, it is him?
No.
It's
James Earl Jones is not with us anymore.
But I thought that he had recorded it. It's
like a Bob Shepard, Derek Jeter thing?
Back in the day, yeah. No, but honestly, I did used to think it was James Earl Jones, and when he was with us,
right?
And Ving Rhames,
yeah. See, circle gets a square. Now, see, the Ving Rhames isn't walkout. I could see if you don't need Five Guys, right? That's a walkout. But no, that's a good pull by you with Ving Rhames. That's good.
We'll get into this more.
Imagine what kind of a life that is if you're Ving Rhames.
Like you Ving walk Rhames, in the door and you derail crap like
I'm not derailing.
This is such an underrated trait of Dan Grassa. His ability to immediately, like I will joke about, Bart is like the guy at times where I'll be the designated driver on a night. And Bart's your buddy who's had a few. And he will reach over as soon as he sees an IHOP at the next stop and realizes that the exit is coming up. He will reach over and grab the wheel. Let's go to IHOP!
15 lanes across the highway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're the guy that will just kind of reach over and very subtly pull it into the next lane. And 10 minutes later, wait, what the hell just happened?
But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You have more respect for the fact that I'm at least honest with you about such things, and I could easily sit here and say, "Oh yeah, Five Guys. Yeah, how about those burgers? Oh, they're great." I'm telling you, I haven't been there. I got nothing to hide.
But aren't there things in life that you wish you didn't know about other people?
Sure.
Like there are plenty of people in my life that I admire, that I like, but I know too much, and I know what goes on under the surface, and I don't judge, but there's a level of disappointment in that for me. welcome to the column. You just ended up in that column.
I don't want to disappoint, but I guarantee you, if you just start like throwing out like fast food entities out there's probably one or two more that I probably haven't even frequented.
So here's the thing: I'm not judgmental on certain places because I can understand. I can understand having never gone to an Arby's. I can get that to me is in any port in a storm situation. Like if we are going to die and there's one place left on earth that's open,
but see, here's
and
the
it's
thing.
Arby's, okay.
But Five Guys, though, like, can you think of one time in your life? Have you ever seen a commercial on TV for Five Guys?
They don't have to advertise. Well, they're that good.
But if I said to you, I've never
you
been
see
to
commercials for In-N-Out in the West Coast? No, you don't.
Never had In-N-Out either. And I was actually, every time I've been to the West Coast, I never got to an In-N-Out. But if I said, like, if I haven't been to McDonald's,
I'm not going to kill you on that.
Burger King, Wendy's, that's one thing. I mean, those have been like the holy trinity for decades. You know what I mean? But
Five Guys has been around for 20 years at least.
It's been around, but it's not like at those levels. But I haven't been there
at those levels. Here's the problem with the fact that you haven't been there.
Yeah,
the quality level of what you're getting just is so much higher than all of the others. It's so good.
But again, not opposed to it, and maybe one day it'll happen. It'll happen, Pop. We'll get there.
Now you call me Pop?
We'll get there, Pop.
What were we talking about?
Mets.
All right, go do that while I gather myself.
Talk about the
If
Mets.
anybody should leave, it should be me.
No, I think it's important we have this dialogue.
Is the bar open yet?
I think it's really important we have this dialogue. So anyway, look, here's the thing with the Mets. On paper, you feel a lot better than you did a month ago.
Right.
Right? You did. One thing, though, and, you know, I've covered all these guys on a national level since they've been in the league. The thing about Freddy Peralta, a lot of people, you know, the one thing that kind of snicker at is the people throwing around like the ace thing. Oh, he's an ace. You got your ace.
So he had an ace-type year, but that's where I was going with this earlier until you grabbed the
we got
wheel
into burgers.
and drove me into the center median.
Like once upon a time, Freddy Peralta was part of David Stern's Milwaukee Brewers when that rotation also had Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff. And to me, Freddy Peralta was a number 3 among those groups, okay? Now, I wouldn't even sit here and consider Brandon Woodruff a quote-unquote ace. He's a damn good number 2, but I wouldn't even call him an ace. So I can't sit here and say that Freddy Peralta's an ace. He might be the best of what the Mets currently have, but I've been saying this the entire offseason, Christopher, before the Mets even got Freddy Peralta. If you are a Met fan, what will best serve this team for the upcoming season is if a certain individual named Nolan McClain inherits that ace role and continues pitching like we saw him pitch the last month and a half last year. That, to me, will represent the best of what the Mets could do in 2026.
I think that's completely fair, and I think
I think he could do it, by the way, too.
It's hard for me to say that because I'm so much more of a skeptic now on younger guys that come up and have early success, and then we all operating under an assumption that they're going to develop into that guy. And really what did that to me was Matt Harvey, because I got suckered in on that for a long time, and, you know, different things happened. But
well, that was more off the field
yes,
related than anything on the field.
It was, but like again, I don't know this guy well enough to know where any of it's going. I'm not casting aspersions on his character. Like if he told me he didn't go to Five Guys, I'd have no freaking faith in him whatsoever.
Nolan McClain is not, in terms of, you know, wanting the limelight and the nightlife of New York, he's not going to get sucked up into that like Matt Harvey did.
Right,
we know that.
But my point is, like, you thought at the time you had somebody that you were locking in for 5 to 10 years, and it wasn't going to be a problem, and that went away pretty quickly.
Right.
And it can go away for a myriad of reasons. Now, what I'm pointing to here is that the Mets bought high on Freddy Peralta. Okay? It's a one-year situation. You gave up 2 really good prospects, and you're getting a guy off of his best season. I mean, he wasn't close to 17 wins before this. He wasn't close to a 2.70 ERA in at least 3 or 4 years before this, if I'm not mistaken. And so I 100% agree with you that Freddy Peralta does not fit what I would call the ace role. If you gave me a choice of overpaying for one of 2 guys, it would have been Skubal, obviously. I would have much rather overpaid and given up more than this to get Skubal, but I don't think Skubal was available. I think the Mets probably beat down that door as much as they could until it was pretty clear that he wasn't getting moved, whereas the Brewers kind of said all along, well, we're not trading him, ish, but you never really believe them.
But by the way, here's the other thing, and we've had this conversation, covering baseball for the last 100 years. Doesn't it suck? Right? Like, isn't this trade like another reminder how much it sucks?
Yeah.
To be a small market team like Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Like the expression we always throw around, why can't we have nice things? They can have nice things.
Yeah.
But they can't keep nice things.
Yeah.
It might be even next year, who knows? Like, Paul Skeens is ultimately going to get traded by the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Tarek Skubal. You know that he and the Tigers are not going to have a long-term relationship. And by the way, just to backtrack on what you mentioned about that, the price tag would have been way too ridiculous for Skubal just in terms of what you were giving up. And I still don't think that you're going to sign him long-term. He'll ultimately end up with the Dodgers, whenever that is, just because everybody does. But he still might get traded only because think of what happened the way that arbitration played out. Like, there was such a wide disparity between what the club offered and what he was asking for. I mean, to the point where if you're the Tigers, you're the player, you're like insulted by what's going on back and forth. So they may have no choice but to move him. Things might get a little acrimonious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he still could get traded. I think the way the Mets operated, though, I'm okay with.
Listen, they're better. They're better. You point to the small market stuff. Yeah, it sucks. You look at what they did the other night with Luis Robert. The Mets can take a guy who's had 2 bad offensive years, and between the tax and what his salary is, pay him $40 million this year to get strong defense and to get somebody that has got terrific speed. And anything that they get offensively, they're not bringing him in here expecting that they're going to fix him, right? I don't think that I've never heard any of that in the last day or two, that we've got the secret sauce that's going to change that. But the Mets can take that kind of a risk, whereas those small market teams can't.
Right. They could sit there and eat $20 million on a whim, right?
Yep.
Because that's what you're paying him this year, and he's a rental and all that stuff. And look, I'm going to stand on the ground. I've never been a Luis Robert guy. He's been more teased than actual production his whole career.
Yep.
The guy can never stay healthy. And that's why even last year at the trade deadline, when you knew the Mets were going to go out and get another center fielder, I actually liked the Mullins trade. And we know Mullins was terrible for them, but I would have rather had him over Luis Robert just because Roberts was never available and not dependable. And what happened with Luis Robert last year, he gets hurt again, right after the trade deadline. So it's like same old thing. So, yeah, it's great in theory that they brought him in, but I can't sit here and guarantee you that he's even going to play 110 games for the Mets.
No,
you can't.
But the point is they can do something like that, and they can take these chances, and they're at this point. And I think what it came down to for the Mets was, do we want to do this on Luis Robert, or do we want to give, 6 years to Cody Bellinger?
Correct.
And that's exactly what happened. And so, in turn, once that Robert deal happened, as I kind of turn the page here a little bit, that's why the Bellinger thing happened so quickly, because then there was nobody left. You had the 5 years, and what was it, 160 on the table-ish, and they went up $2.5 million. They went up $500,000 a year to get Cody Bellinger done, and they gave him a no-trade clause, which, frankly, doesn't mean a whole lot at the moment with him, I don't think. I think
Plus
down the line.
Plus, he got 2 opt-outs, too, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, when did this start? Right? Can somebody sign a contract now without opt-outs? Like, everybody, what's the point of a contract then if you want all these opt-outs thrown in the second year?
He was one of the big guys probably 5-6 years ago.
You know what I'm saying? But now it's everybody.
Yeah, it is. It is everybody.
Like now, what did they sign him for? 5-year deal, 6-year deal. Now the next question is always, how many opt-outs?
Yeah.
That was never a thing in the past.
No, it's just, how long are we stuck with him if he stinks?
Like
5 years.
Like the
and if he's great, how long do we have him? 1 year.
Right. Like the Bo Bichette thing was comical yesterday, in a way, because it's like, he's sitting there asking the question, they were asking him questions about, like, how do you feel moving to third base? And did you mind, moving to third base? It's like, he should have just went up there and said, it's like, they're paying me $42 million to play third base this year. If I don't like it, or if we don't like the experiment, I can opt out and then go play someplace else next year. Yeah. And then take my $42 million with me.
Yeah.
Like, that's all this thing is.
It's a hell of an 8 months I just had. That's basically it.
You're a rental.
Yeah.
A well-paid rental.
So, and to me, like, if you want to tie this into it, I look at both teams. One team is better than they were, but I don't feel like they're over the top. And the other team is the same. Like, there's nothing about what's going on with the Yankees that makes me feel like they're better. They are where they were right now. And I know people will try to throw the Garrett Cole's like making a trade. Oh, okay. It's not. You're getting him back. You didn't have him last year, and I know how good he is. I understand all of that. I also understand what he's coming off and how long that usually takes to really work out for the long haul. So for me, at this point, the Yankees, in bringing Bellinger back, all right, they needed him. He provides some versatility, but are they a better team than they were at the end of last year? Same.
No, I think almost status quo. And I think if you're the Yankees, the thing that you're going to rely on, obviously, is once the reinforcements come back, and I'm talking Schmidt, Cole, Rodon, by the middle of the season, you should have, if everything goes according to plan, one of the best rotations in all of baseball. And then that becomes your strength.
Mm-hmm.
You got Aaron Judge, great. But the strength of this team is going to be starting pitching when it's all said and done. And I think that's what Brian Cashman and everybody hopes is going to be the case. It's the way the ball club is made up, because you look at this lineup, like that's why with Bellinger, and look, Bellinger would have fit the Mets better because of the variety of positions he can play. And the Mets still had a few holes. You know what, at first base, the corner outfield, you're thinking, right? Fit the Mets better, but the Yankees needed him more. Yankees needed him a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, I would
because
agree.
Think about it, if Bellinger signed elsewhere, wherever it might be, look at this Yankee lineup. Who do you feel good about outside of Aaron Judge that you could depend on? Nobody.
Nothing. There's nothing there where I'm locked in and I'm good to go.
So if I'm an opposing team, and let's say a Yankee lineup without Bellinger, why am I letting Aaron Judge beat me?
You don't.
Right? You don't.
Yeah. Listen, he'll end up getting pitched to in some circumstances just because you have to. But most of the time, I mean, I wouldn't. Would you be shocked if this was a season where Judge set a record, maybe not the Bonds record, but was approaching the record in walks? I wouldn't.
Well.
I wouldn't. Absolutely not.
I mean, a 5-year-old could come up with a scouting report when you face the Yankee lineup. Don't let Judge beat you because he's that good.
All right, fellas, go get him.
Yeah, go get him. Pitch to those. See those 8 other guys? Those are the ones you want to throw pitches to. Judge, 4 fingers, get on first base.
A couple of comments coming in from YouTube.
Yeah.
Carlin, was the headphone throw the equivalent of dropping the mic after you said Ving Rhames? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Was there any problems with the headphones? Everything good? There wasn't any.
It's big and bulky.
Okay.
Like headphones on my head right now, if they're not like the little ear pieces like you have on, it just makes my head's giant, and it makes it look even more giant. So that's all.
So that's why you go with the size of the headphones.
Johnny Blaze, Five Guys, probably the best burger spot around here. The fries are excellent too. Very underrated fries. I mean,
it's a good fry.
I'm really Don Pablo. Five Guys better than Shake Shack. I can't argue with that, Dan. Like,
I'm not a big Shake Shack guy.
Are you an American? How about that? Let's start there.
Guy.
Are you an American? Because right now, the places that you haven't been, what is good to you, Dan? What is good? What are you not above? Because this is what it's giving. It's giving. You could take your little dirty Five Guys and Shake Shack and all your other fast food joints, because that's below me.
That's true. That's accurate. So that's all the proof you need. I like a nice Chick-fil-A.
All right.
Right? Nice
That's
Chick-fil-A.
solid. Yep.
Ooh, that's good stuff.
Chick-fil-A is solid.
Good stuff.
I have said this before, and it's completely true. Chick-fil-A is so reliable. There's not a more reliable company at the drive-thru than Chick-fil-A about getting everything right, that I trust Chick-fil-A more than immediate family members in my life.
You know what? That is
any people working that.
A phenomenal observation by you, because you're right. Now that I think back to it, in all the years I've been going drive-thru, I don't think there's been one error.
Not one.
Not one.
It doesn't happen.
Not a single one.
Which makes me think there might be a dungeon somewhere with Chick-fil-A workers who, if they screwed something up, they get thrown in the dungeon.
You know what impresses the hell out of me about the Chick-fil-A drive-thru system? Like, for instance, now we're in the dead of winter, right? You could pull into a Chick-fil-A drive-thru, and it could be like minus 11. And I'm sitting there in my car with the heat cranking, the heated seats, all that stuff. And basically, like, I could be in a bathing suit because my car is so toasty. And meantime, you got these hardworking employees bundled up like Eskimos outside where they can't even feel their appendages. Is that the regular chicken sandwich, sir, or the barbecue chicken sandwich? And they're still getting the order right.
And they care.
I
always say to them, you stay warm out here, okay? That's just me. That's just the kind of guy
I wouldn't do that. Because then it's almost like you're rubbing it in their
No,
face.
I'm not. No, I'm empathizing.
But some people would interpret that.
Some people might interpret that, but it's all in tone of how I deliver that.
Like, I don't know it's cold out here? Like, I don't know that my, feet have frostbite?
I might say something like, I don't know how you're doing this. And they have never looked at me like, wow, fat man, you're just full of crap. Like, you could not be, rubbing it in my face anymore. They say, thank you.
And then all of a sudden, you just happen to have a spare, thermos of hot cocoa in the car, and you pour them a cup.
You know what?
You look like you could use this.
I trust those people so much. The next time I go, I might bring some.
See that?
I might stop it. Does anybody? I might call them in advance. You guys need Starbucks?
Here you go. You got a good test coming up this weekend. Well, no. The snow's going to be Sunday, right? So they're closed on Sunday anyways. But I'm saying, like, go during a snowstorm. If they're out there during a snowstorm and you want to provide a little appreciation gift.
I'd do that. I would do that. I got to go to Charlottesville. I don't know if there's a Chick-fil-A down there. We'll find out.
Hopefully there's no protests.
I think that's a thing of the past.
They're done.
Well, for the moment.
You hope.
It's Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York. That was something for the first 25 minutes.
You know what that was? That's called we just ate away the first half hour of a 3-hour program. And I thought it was mighty entertaining.
That's running the ball with a 10-point lead. Effectively.
You got to bleed the clock.
That's what it is.
You bleed the clock. Ask the Falcons. They should have done it up 28-3.
Instead of bleed, I like chew clock.
Chew the clock.
Chew clock. I don't know.
You could.
That's me. Bart and Carlin. Dan Grassa is in for Bart today. 800-919-3776. We've got some football next. Jason McCourty joins us in moments on ESPN New York.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
In Queens, a couple of issues. The LIE westbound by Utopia Parkway, a crash in the right lane. And the Whitestone Expressway northbound side by Linden Place, a crash in the left lane. FDR Drive downtown southbound water main break repairs and a real mess there all morning at the RFK Bridge down to the 90s. We've got a lot of traffic on the Henry Hudson Parkway, broken down car on the shoulder southbound by 125th Street. And the New York State Thruway southbound at Tarrytown, broken down car just clear. Traffic is slow coming in from Rockland on the Tappan Zee Bridge, but that should be getting better. I'm Bob Williams on 880 ESPN New York.
Show your team spirit and say big only at Security Dodge during the Start Something New sales event. For a limited time, score an extra $500 off on top of all rebates and new incentives. Just for coming in and wearing your favorite team's jersey or swag. High school, college, or pro, football, basketball, hockey, and every sport in between. It's easy to win big at Security Dodge in Amityville. Visit us today or shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, commitment issues? No problem. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month forever, as in for life. Switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, you may experience slower speeds. Pay $25 a month as long as you stay on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Welcome to Jake's 58 Casino Hotel, where excitement never stops. Unleash the fun with 2 floors of gaming action, featuring 1,000 cutting-edge video and electronic machines. Enjoy exceptional service at a prime location that places you right in the heart of Long Island's excitement. Stay and play in style with over 200 hotel rooms and treat yourself to a full range of dining options at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me. Just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then?
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
Ox Spine at New York Presbyterian is always in pursuit of a better way to heal the spine. We're getting more people moving again with minimally invasive, non-surgical, and surgical treatments with innovative solutions for every back and spine condition and your unique needs. Expert spine care is available now across New York City and Westchester. Find a doctor at nyp.org/oxspine. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
They are not wasting any time with the Giants right now. John Harbaugh is walking in the door and cleaning house. It is Bart Carlin on ESPN New York and on the ESPN New York app and ESPN New York's YouTube page. Jason McCourty joins us each and every Thursday as he has throughout the football season, and he joins us right now. Jason, it's Chris and Dan Grassa in for Bart today. We appreciate it. And let's just start here. So John Harbaugh, you as a Jersey guy, we've talked about this a little bit before. He has walked in the door, but a lot of people probably going to be a little bit shell-shocked in that building. What is that like when a new guy comes in and is just completely cleaning house across the board?
Man, it's tough. I've lived that movie so many times. In Tennessee, I was there 8 years. I have 4 different head coaches, 3 different general managers. So we always would kind of laugh about it. Whenever a new head coach comes in, we'd have all the signage. You know it is when you walk in the building. There's all these cliche statements and all of that all over the building. They will all be ripped down, and somebody will put up their own version of them. And part of the signage being ripped down was a lot of people packing up their office and exiting. And I think part of that is when you come in, you want to build your own culture and your way of doing things. And I think when you leave a lot of the same people, you're accustomed to doing it a different way. I think about even when Gerard Mayo took over in New England, a lot of the people remained the same. And Vrabel came in that very next year, and he cleaned house from a lot of people behind the scenes and then to a lot of the players on the team. I don't want to just compare 2 different organizations, but I think about it with Vrabel. There was a few players left on that team that won a Super Bowl in 2018, and all of them were removed from the team. And I think some of that was we want to start anew. We want to make sure that the people that remain in this building understand that the old way of doing things wasn't good enough, and we're moving forward in a positive direction and building something that we believe is going to last for a long time. So whether someone thinks it's right or wrong, I think it's just a part of the process when you change at the top when it comes to the head coaching position. And for somebody like Harbaugh, who's been doing it at a high level for so long, you have an exact vision that you want done, and you want to get the people in that you believe can execute that vision.
All right, Jason, so from the coaching perspective and the guy who's going to be running the show, he's doing what's necessary, and you can't argue with that, certainly as a fan. From a player's perspective, like you said, you were in Tennessee where they had so much turnover. Then you ultimately found your way over to the New England Patriots, and that was when Belichick was still there, Tom was still there, and you guys had some success. What was it like for a player who came from an unstable situation, then goes to a place that became like the epitome of what running an organization should be like? What type of an impact is that going to have, let's say, on guys who were part of this Giants team for the last few years?
Yeah, twofold on that. So that's such a good question. I think initially you get there, and what I was always impressed by, I remember walking in our DB room, and my brother was in his 9th year being there. I want to say Jaron Harmon was in his 7th, Nate Ebner was in his 8th, and Patrick Chung had been there 9 years. One, he went to Philly for a year and then came back. So imagine that. Within one DB room, these 4 safeties were in the same DB room for that many years. They watched each other have kids. They watched each other get married, take on different phases of life. And you talk about building a nucleus and a bond and chemistry. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. That amount of players playing together in the same meeting room. I got there in that first year, and guys would say, hey, on this one, we're going to check Stone. And I would look, I would say, what the hell is Stone? We've never implemented that in any game plan. But, oh, my bad. That was back in 2015 when we were playing against the Rams, and they did this, and that's why we can. So that type of institutionalized knowledge that you have within a team goes such a long way. The second part of it, what I learned going from one unstable to what would appear to be a stable situation, is that every team, no matter how many games you win or lose, has a ton of drama going on. And you're overcoming it week in and week out to find a way to win games. When I went from Tennessee to Cleveland, I was like, oh, damn, I thought it was bad in Tennessee. This is even rough. And then when I got to New England, you're like, okay, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. And it was awesome. But there was a lot of stuff behind the scenes that goes on there that you're like, damn, I would have never thought that they deal with this stuff too. So I think that's the realization that you have as a player. Yes, one organization finds a way to win games and put the right people in place to do so, but there's going to be drama and there's going to be things in adversity that you have to deal with no matter what.
Jason McCourty with us, ESPN NFL analyst. The Jets and defensive coordinator, Jason, when coaches are evaluating jobs that are open, when they're in this part of the year and they're trying to make decisions about what might be the right fit for them, how do the Jets sell this, that the DC spot for them is a good place for a coach to go and kind of establish himself?
Wow, you're putting that on me. My goodness, that's a tough one. I think what you want is, this is a team that last year struggled. So one of the things that I remember being recruited by Rutgers, where Shiano, who's the head coach there, would always tell us, you can be the first. You can make history here. For the New York Jets, they made history last year of not getting an interception, as few of the turnovers they had. So for a defensive coordinator walking in the building, you're going to be able to shape and mold this defense in the image that you like, and it's only up from here. Like, there's only room to grow to get better. You have to sell him on the amount of draft picks you have, the amount of salary cap that you're willing to spend to get his type of players in here that he believes is going to help implement not only the skill and the talent that it takes to win on defense, but also the mentality of the guys in the room that he's going to want to build around. To me, that's the selling point. Yes, we know we're not where we want to be as a defense right now, and we don't have enough talent in the room to go out there and be dominant on defense. But we're taking the steps this offseason, starting with you coming in here as our coordinator, to build around and to get the right men in this room that are going to lead us with a vision to where we want to go. And you're going to be able to start that vision at the beginning of OTAs, and we're going to see at the end of January exactly where that vision got us with the men that we place in that room.
Jason, then that leads you to the offseason, right? Once you get your coaching staff in place, then you have to go out there and recruit players, free agents, that type of thing. How selective do you think – all right, let's talk about defense. How selective do you think defensive players are based upon scheme, coaching staff, that side of the ball? Even if they are going to throw a bunch of money my way, is the money the ultimate factor, or are guys going to look to be in a system that they're going to be comfortable and be able to produce the best they can?
As you're asking that question, I'm like, do I lie to them or do I tell them the answer? The truth is, money matters a lot. And, of course, you look at the situation, you look at the scheme. The part of money that matters is, how much are they paying me and what's the likelihood that I can play out this contract? So if you're going to a team that you feel like is going to struggle and continue to lose a ton of games, they may offer you a 5-year deal with X amount of money, but if I'm probably only going to see 2 years of it, I may be better off going to a different situation where I can play out and be able to make my money. But yes, scheme and all of those things matter. But I used to tell people all the time, when I was playing in the league, and even now doing the media stuff, the only way you can show me how bad you want me and how much I'm going to mean to this organization is to pay me. And you guys know, even within your profession, somebody can tell you, oh, no, we really want you, we value you. But if they're not willing to pay you to stay there, then they don't value you that much. So I think for players within free agency, yes, you're going to be calling other guys to see what it's like within the building and all of those different things, and it all factors in. But it's very hard to turn down 5 times the amount of money that one organization is offering you versus another organization when you know you have a very finite amount of time to play in this league and maximize the amount of money you can make.
Jason McCourty with us. All right, games this weekend. Number one, what chance do you give the Broncos here with Jarrett Stidham?
You know what? I was with Stidham in 2019 when he was drafted in the 4th round by the Patriots. And the one thing that Stidham can do well is he's a smart quarterback. And you say that, and it's like every quarterback is smart. To be a backup quarterback, you got to be extremely smart. That's the biggest thing you bring to the table. Now, the challenge for him is you haven't played football in an NFL game since 2023, regular season. The speed of the game, when you're not experiencing it week in and week out, it's going to be a little bit different. But Stidham is going to be able to find the holes within this defense to be able to make plays. They're not going to ask him to go out there and go win the football game for him. They're going to try to dominate on the defensive side of the ball, run the football, screens outside to the wide receivers. But I do give them a chance. New England hasn't played his absolute best football. They've been able to gut out wins. The defense has been unbelievable. But the one thing that they've really struggled with is protecting Drake May, giving up 10 sacks within these 2 playoff games. So if you're Denver, you're coming up with a formula to win this game, not just for Jarrett Stidham to play well. It's going to take everybody. But I do think Stidham, he has a chance to make enough plays to go win this football game for them.
I'm glad you mentioned Drake May and the Patriots because they haven't played that great, the last 2 games here in the playoffs. Now, granted, they were going up against a couple of good defenses, fair.
Yes.
But when I go back to Denver, Jason, I mean, you've watched this team all year. They, including last week, they've won 12 games by 1 score. And Bo Nix was really, really good in the 4th quarter of a lot of those games this year. So when I look at this game, you take Bo Nix out of the equation, so you don't have 4th quarter Bo Nix anymore. Yes, Sean Payton knows what he's doing. He's been around the block and all those things. If you take out the guy who excelled and helped the Broncos pull some of these games out, how much more difficult is it going to be for them to play a better, let's say, first 3 quarters because you don't have that magic man in the 4th quarter? Like, I don't think Jarrett Stidham's going to be making throws in the 4th quarter to bring him from behind.
Oh, extremely difficult. Now I give them a chance. If you're asking me who I'll be picking to win this game, is the New England Patriots. When you lose your starting quarterback at the end of the divisional round and you have to play a guy that hasn't played a single snap all season long in the AFC Championship game with a Super Bowl berth on the line, like that's not an ideal situation to say the least. And as much as Sean Payton loves Jarrett Stidham and the guys in the locker room believe in him, Bo Nix was drafted and was the starter for a reason. Bo Nix, in those 4th quarters, his ability to run and scramble to make a play, his ability to throw on a run in those crucial moments has really advanced him and helped him win football games. And that's the fear of the Denver Broncos. If it comes down to that moment, can you trust that now this offense with Stidham, who now from a timing standpoint, cadence, all of those different things, quarterback center exchange, there's so many variables that are different for them on that side of the ball. Can you trust them to go win the game in a 2-minute situation? I mean, that's a huge challenge on Stidham and the rest of these guys, but it is what it is, right? He's an NFL quarterback for a reason, and I'm sure for Jarrett Stidham, you've dreamed about this moment your entire life, and it's here. It might not have been the ideal way to get there, but it's a moment now to step up for your team and be able to make a play.
When you look at the game in Seattle, is this about a dominant unit, or is this about, in the Seattle defense, obviously, or is this about somebody who's had the experience and has been there before with Stafford?
Man, it's that battle right there. Seattle has been unbelievable on the defensive side of the ball, but you go back and watch that Week 16 matchup, Stafford threw for almost 460 yards against this same Seattle defense, and he carved them up. And yes, they got to him. They made plays late to be able to win this football game. But that's what I'm looking for. How are they able to get pressure on Stafford and not allow him to sit back and make some of the second-level throws he was able to make? Brock Purdy didn't stand a chance. These last two games that we see them go up against that front did not allow him to be able to hold on to the ball to make any play at the second level. The Rams did in Week 16. They allowed Stafford enough time to make plays. Puka Nacua had an unbelievable game, catching the ball in the middle of the field and being able to get run after the catch. So I think it's about that matchup right there. And then on the other side of it, for Sam Darnold, we're talking about Stafford and potentially the MVP and what he's going to be able to do. Stafford, show up to the party. Get out of the pocket, make throws to go win the football game for your team the way you did in the fourth quarter in Week 16 to propel them to victory. Obviously, this is the matchup of the week, and these have been what a lot of people felt like the best two teams in the NFL throughout the latter part of the season.
Last one. You ever been to Five Guys?
A few times I have, yes.
Do you like it?
I like Five Guys, yeah. I don't mind a burger every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like an overwhelming endorsement. I like it.
Would you judge somebody who purposely has kind of stayed out of the way, especially as somebody that's in incredible shape like you, as opposed to somebody else? I don't really take those in. Maybe doesn't quite have the body that you do. He's looking out for his health, but, I don't know. A guy who hasn't been to a Five Guys, I don't know that I trust that guy.
Jason, I've never been to a Five Guys, and he's holding my feet to the fire.
See, when he asked that question, I know Carlin. So you always got to be you're a little nervous of how you want to answer because you don't know which way it's going to go.
But I'm never going to set you
up. Might have been arrested at a Five Guys or something like you.
No, that was Burger King.
That's what it was. You had to find a new spot.
But I would never put you in a bad spot to set you up like that. I'm not that guy. But anyway, appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Always.
Thanks, Jay.
J-Mac, Jason McCourty with us.
That's like Rutgers on Rutgers crime right there if he was going to go there. You can't do that.
No, and you too. It can't take you out. You're telling me during the break a few minutes ago, well, look at me. I obviously take care of myself. Okay, but he's in much better shape than you are.
Well, he was a professional athlete.
Right. You made it sound like, obviously, you're not like Bart. You're going to walk in here, you're going to have a ham sandwich in the morning and then tell me how healthy it is for you.
Yeah, that is a little bizarre. His eating habits are a little askew.
But then he'll go do a 4-hour workout.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of counterproductive, but, nevertheless.
All right, do you eat better so you don't have to work out? That I would at least expect.
No, I do. I stay active. I run and all that stuff. I'm very active.
All right, we get it. You're better than me. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. You call yourselves the Burger King. You're a disgrace.
Thursday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Are the Knicks back on track after a dominant performance against the Nets?
First time that the Knicks have had a 50-point lead since 2013.
To go see them put it together for 48 minutes was a lot of fun.
Plus, after the Mets trade for Freddy Peralta, how would you grade the Mets' pivot this offseason? Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Hey, it's Michael K. Not sleeping? Well, it could be your mattress. That's why I always recommend my friends at PC Richard & Son. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step mattress fitting process so that your new bed fits you perfectly. They guarantee it. Top brands like Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. And in-home delivery on any mattress $199 and up is free. So do what I do. Get to PC Richard & Son and for your new mattress. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center, we customize actionable and proactive health plans to maximize your lifespan and take control of your health. Our Cancer Check program combines cutting-edge technology with top medical expertise to keep you ahead of potential risks. With advanced full-body imaging, genetic testing, and multi-cancer detection blood tests, we look for even the earliest signs of problems. Results are analyzed by expert physicians who craft a personalized plan to safeguard your future. You're not just a patient, you're a partner in your health journey, backed by a team committed to helping you live longer, healthier, and more vibrantly. Our programs have saved hundreds of lives and empowered countless others to take control of their health. Be proactive with your health for the ultimate peace of mind. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
Not all F words are bad. Some are actually great, like fast, free fiber for 4 months. Yep, switch to Optimum Fiber for as low as $25 a month. Plus, for a limited time, you can get 4 months free, HBO Max included for 1 year, and a 5-year price lock. Don't wait, this free fiber deal won't last long, and the fastest, most reliable, most consistent internet speeds await you. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com/free today. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Smalls here. Life is full of choices, some big, some small. And when you choose an H&R Block Tax Pro, you're choosing the largest network of tax expertise to be in your corner. For when your big ambitions need help with the small details. For when your 6 figures come from 6 different places. For when your gaming stream becomes your revenue stream. For when your business's year 1 needs 70 years of tax know-how. At H&R Block, they've seen it all. And they're here to help you make the most out of your money for life outside the box.
The post-career day press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Oh, my God, it's going to be 4 days of Snowmageddon.
That's what they're saying, right?
Yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait to see the cameras out in the street interviewing people who are driving. How is it? It's bad.
It's never a good sign, like 4 days before a storm or a pending storm, when they're dropping, like, the foot number at you.
Yeah.
You know, because then generally, like, as you get closer to storm, that foot number only goes up. It never goes down.
Yeah.
It only goes up. And that's what I'm afraid of here. Like, it's, you know why? Because I'm not missing school next week. That's why. Like, snow and all these great storms, you know, when we were in school and you get, like I remember when I was in high school, we had our 1 year midterms canceled completely because the school could not open for a week because we got, like, the blizzard in the mid-90s. 6.
Okay.
So, like, completely shut down everything. And then because it was, like, the Arctic tundra, everything froze. So, like, the whole damn parking lot was iced over. They couldn't open the school for a week, so we had no midterms. It was the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah. I had midterms canceled, or not midterms, but finals canceled. The blizzard 93, upstate New York, which all they do is live in snow, and they actually canceled it. And that was an on-campus situation. They still canceled it.
an OCS, an on-campus situation.
That's right.
Jeez.
I mean,
I'm not a fan of this.
I don't.
You know why? Because, look, not that you were going to necessarily do anything anyways. Like, if it was Sunday, I mean, that's a good day. You know, you got the championship games. It's perfect viewing. But normally, like, if you're going to get something this bad, you're snowed in. Like, you literally, that's a day that you cannot accomplish anything outside of the house.
Is this going to turn into The Day After Tomorrow? Did you ever see that movie?
It might be a 2-day situation.
Yeah. The day after, is it The Day After Tomorrow?
Is that a Jake Gyllenhaal vehicle?
It is a Jake Gyllenhaal, early Emmy Rossum, Dennis Quaid.
Yes.
Yeah. Where basically the entire city was in Northern Hemisphere was buried in snow, and it was over. It's going to be 3 days of this. I'm already sweating the travel back and forth to Charlotte. I'm doing UNC Virginia on Saturday.
Well, here's the worst part about this. Here's the worst part about this. And I'm sure, like, when is it going to, you know, like, whenever there's a snowstorm, the grocery stores are out of their mind.
Yes.
Like 2 days before, the day before, because people think they're never going to get out of their house again.
Exactly.
They're going to have to start, like, gnawing at each other's legs just to be able to have sustenance. So the grocery stores are just berserk. Like, when will that start? Is that like a tomorrow thing? Is it all like people just wait till Saturday to go out there and like grab every single thing off the rack?
I think that will probably start today, but you won't see the camera shots with the empty shelves until late Friday.
You know what I did see yesterday already? The hardware stores. They already did the story on that.
Yeah.
No salt, no shovels, like those gobbled up.
Right.
And we've been lucky. Like, in all seriousness, the last few like winters, we haven't gotten clobbered, like, at all.
No, not
like,
at
very
all.
little snow.
And it feels like it's about to make up for that.
And you kind of got a gauge, too, only because it's just been, like, brutally freaking cold, going back to, like, the beginning of December. That's not supposed to happen. At least not that early.
First of 5 guys singing know this. Bart Carlin, ESPN.
Well, I didn't make it snow.
Okay.
I don't have that poll, believe me.
See if I can blame you for it by the end of the show.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
More people trust their hearts to New York Presbyterian than any other hospital in New York. It's because New York Presbyterian has the most experienced cardiovascular doctors, treating a full range of heart conditions, from heart failure to valve repair, with the most advanced treatments. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital, based on U.S. News & World Report 2025 to 2026 cardiology, heart, and vascular surgery rankings.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Welcome to Jake's 58 Casino Hotel, where excitement never stops. Unleash the fun with 2 floors of gaming action, featuring 1,000 cutting-edge video and electronic machines. Enjoy exceptional service at a prime location that places you right in the heart of Long Island's excitement. Stay and play in style with over 200 hotel rooms and treat yourself to a full range of dining options at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Show your team spirit and save big only at Security Dodge during the Start Something New sales event. For a limited time, score an extra $500 off on top of all rebates and new incentives just for coming in and wearing your favorite team's jersey or swag. High school, college, or pro, football, basketball, hockey, and every sport in between. It's easy to win big at Security Dodge in Amityville. Visit us today or shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with their award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin.
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
I mean, you get early tips sometimes. You really should figure out what people are going to end up in jail and what guys aren't.
I mean, that helps.
Yeah.
You know, who you associate yourself with and that type of stuff.
I had a guy that I worked with in at a supermarket in New Jersey growing up.
Edwards?
No.
Remember Edwards?
I didn't know Edwards Supermarket. I didn't know Edwards.
Green?
No.
Edwards?
This was an A&P. The A. Look at you. You got a nostalgic smile on your face when I said the A&P.
Little food town.
This guy who lived on my street, who I pretty much believe is in jail now, if I'm not mistaken.
Currently incarcerated.
Currently incarcerated, yeah.
Interesting.
Worked there, assaulted some people, and also...
What kind of assault? Verbal, physical, sexual?
Physical and maybe sexual.
Okay.
But not like full... Well, I'm not going to try to parse words on it.
Enough to be brought in. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, enough that there was a complaint filed.
More than a slap on the wrist.
Yes. But
this was at the A&P, by the way?
Oh, yeah, no.
The assaulting was going on at A&P?
Yeah, there was another woman who worked there that he was trying to hit on and all that. But he didn't go to jail for that. She anyway. But again, red flags were there. And then later on, I'd see him pull up his 1987 Camaro to the back of the store, open the trunk, and he'd be throwing steaks into the trunk and just stealing the steaks. Yeah. Yeah. This was an A&P that was not exactly on lockdown in terms of security at the time.
Obviously no surveillance cameras, none of that stuff.
No.
So he had a good racket going on. Assault plus steaks. Yeah. That is the dream job.
And none of that, to my knowledge, is why he's in jail. I'm pretty sure that might have been armed robbery.
Hey, let me tell you something. He might have a racket going on right now while he's behind bars where he's getting steaks delivered to the inmates.
I would guarantee you that he is one of those guys in jail who can get you what you need.
Yeah, exactly. I know a guy who knows a guy.
Outside. This guy's got plenty of guys.
Oh, yeah, he's got some pull.
It's Bart and Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York YouTube page. I want to hear this sound from Connor Hughes of SNY regarding the Jets defensive coordinator situation. Now, they put out a list the other day, last Friday, of the candidates that they had interviewed, which were a lot of candidates who had not been coordinators yet, and then Wink Martindale and then Jim Leonard would be the two guys that you would have heard of. Jim Leonard has been a coordinator on the college level at Wisconsin. And, of course, Wink Martindale, we know from the Giants and Ravens and all of that. Connor Hughes from SNY reported the following.
That same coaching agent that I was talking to, incredibly plugged in. He wouldn't give me the names, and then I confirmed it with another coach who also, he's like, I don't want to embarrass the Jets to say it, but they did reach out to what I heard 2 of the big name defensive coordinating candidates who were available, and both candidates just weren't interested in working for the Jets and Aaron Glenn at this time, which I understand. It's a team that's not going to be very good next year. If you're a major name defensive coordinator, you're going to have major suitors, so they just weren't interested in talking to the Jets. That's not entirely uncommon. People got super angry about the Jets not putting in requests to interview Ben Johnson last year. Ben Johnson let it be known to the Jets, if you send an interview request, I'm not going to take it.
Here's the thing. It's a problem from a perception and reputation standpoint, obviously. I think when you look at this, people, when they are considering coming to the Jets, have to look at it and understand that Aaron Glenn, if things start poorly next year, could be in some real jeopardy. At least that's the perception. Whether or not that's actually true, I don't know the answer to that. You would know that better than me. Having said that, to me, if you end up at the end of this with Wink Martindale, everybody's got to be thrilled, but that's the best candidate, Dan, because Wink Martindale is the guy with nothing to lose. He is at a later stage of his coaching career. He has got a big ego with his ability to be a really good defensive coach, and we've seen many times he has been. So I don't really think that Wink Martindale is someone that would be daunted by a job that, the coach could get fired next year. I think Wink Martindale looks at it and says, so what, at this juncture in his career? I feel like this is the best situation that could play out for them right now.
Well, I mean, look, I think you look at the head coach first and foremost. I mean, his personality is one to where he's not put off by certain guys. You know what I mean? I think I don't want to say that Aaron Glenn has an ego, but I think he's somebody who has a lot of confidence in his abilities. And so I think if you bring in a guy like Wink, who clearly is a football lifer, he's well-traveled. I don't think he minds moving, from town to town, job to job. That's just, that comes with the profession. We were talking before the show. I said, there's a lot of Greg Williams to Wink Martindale. Greg Williams, the old Jet defensive coordinator, ironically enough, that's a guy who's just kind of been all over the place, one job to the next. He even went to the UFL after the NFL because he's a coach. He thrives on competition. That's his Jones, right? So I think that Wink Martindale and the way that, he applies pressures with his schemes, pressures cause mistakes. The Jets, obviously, I mean, anybody who watched them for 5 minutes and paid attention will tell you that, the thing that sticks out like a sore thumb is they didn't get any turnovers last year, which is still hard to fathom. I mean, no interceptions, 4 takeaways, which is still an all-time low. It's hard to believe. I actually don't think it would be the worst move in the world, to be quite honest with you. And apparently, those two had conversations. I'm talking about Wink Martindale and Aaron Glenn before the season even ended.
Really?
So he was on the radar early.
Well, with everything that was going on in Michigan, we knew he wasn't going to be back.
Right.
And listen, he's a pro coach. He was not hitting the pavement out recruiting at Michigan. He was a close the deal kind of guy. Bring the guys to me, and I'll help sell them on it. But
I was going to say he wasn't at your local high school, but you know what? Now nobody goes to high schools. It's called Attack the Portal. That's,
yes.
What's high school?
Well, I honestly feel like that's the best situation right now. But the perception problem for the Jets, this is why when the Giants hired John Harbaugh, you can immediately change it if you hire the right guy. And we've seen it with the Jets before. It happened when Parcells, if the one guy decides to do it, then you can change that perception without having to actually accomplish anything immediately. Now, I was not of any mindset that the Jets, when Harbaugh becomes available, were then going to completely change course and try to do that. But Wink Martindale, to me, is somebody that I think a lot of players would look at and say, yeah, he's got a track record of being a pretty good coordinator. I should probably listen to this guy. He might know what the hell he's doing.
And I think that players talk to other players, around the league. And if they coach with this guy or they played for this guy, so on and so forth, what was he like and that type of thing. Look, anybody, I don't care who you are, young player, old player, star player, practice squad player, anybody who was on that team last year and in that locker room, if they could look you straight in the face and tell you that things don't need to change, I don't even know why you would want them on your team. Because that means they're okay with losing. They're okay with being a bottom feeder. I know nobody in that building is, and certainly the head coach isn't, and they're trying to turn this thing around. And now you got to figure out, and that's what last year was supposed to be, right? Weeding out the guys that aren't going to be here when this thing hopefully turns.
So at this juncture, would you at all be concerned that they don't have their guy in place yet, and they put out the list of 8 candidates that they had talked to last week, and they don't? It doesn't feel like it's imminent.
No, what did I say to you? I said I'd be more concerned if I was one of the 6 teams or whatever that still don't have head coaches, right? Because the offseason, you know this. Oh, God, I cannot wait to hear this. On a side note, the Dolphins are having their press conference now with
Jeff Hafley.
Jeff Hafley. And I don't know, just because if the owner is asked questions after the debacle in Buffalo yesterday with Pagula, and you know, Stephen Ross has been known to, you know, do some head-scratching things. Yeah. I can't wait to hear some of that later in the show when they turn that around, if any clips go viral. But what I was saying was, I mean, the NFL moves at a rapid pace. Like, the Senior Bowl is what, like next week, right? The Combine is going to be in a couple of weeks. So you still have a handful of teams that don't have head coaches, which means they then have to fill out staffs. Like, think about all of these assistant coaches around the NFL that are either part of teams that blew out their old head coach, that are waiting to see who the new head coach is going to be, guys who maybe jump from one job to another, am I going to go with them? And they're just like twisting in the wind. Like, there are so many jobs that still have to be sorted out here at, 6 different stops around the National Football League. And, oh, by the way, next week it's February. Like, it's already next season for a lot of these teams. You know what I mean? Like, that to me would be more cause for concern as opposed to, oh, we don't have a defensive coordinator yet.
Yeah, I don't feel great about Tanner Eggstrand. I don't think he was bad this year. I don't know what to make of him, period.
An incomplete. How's that?
Yes, I would absolutely give it an incomplete. And if I had to guess, that's probably how they kind of feel in the building about it, because what do you really have to go off? He couldn't really turn Justin Fields into anything. I think we had seen Justin Fields at his peak last year, and that peak was not terribly high. I have come around to a couple of things on the Jets. First, number one, and I'm very interested to get your take on this. Bart and I were arguing about this earlier in the week.
Did you come to blows or no?
Well, do I look like a moron?
No, I mean, you sit there and you attack. That's all. You do the best you can.
I attack, but if somebody's going to physically assault me,
not like
it almost happened once.
Really?
Yeah, Charles Haley. Charles Haley was at the Super Bowl, was about to reach over the table. He started cursing at me.
James Madison, Charles Haley.
Did he go to James Madison?
He did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He did a lot of stuff, speaking of assault and things like that back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, Google Charles Haley. There's
not
a lot
I don't even know if assault's in there. I don't know what's in there. But
Charles Haley.
There's a lot there.
During film study in particular?
Yes.
What's that on the projector?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, he almost did. Because it was when Bart and Maggie and I were first together.
Yeah.
And it was at the Super Bowl. And he came on as 9 billion guests do. And he was promoting something for mental health. And
He's bipolar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came out.
So it's a little bit of a sore spot for me because I've dealt with mental health issues. And he was very much making it sound like mental health was completely at fault for all of his bad behavior. And it's one thing to say that, but it's another thing to excuse yourself and basically say, well, I'm not responsible for anything that had happened because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided, let me take out the 6'8", close to 275-pound guy publicly right now and say, wait a second, Charles, hang on. And that's kind of how I approached it, Mr. Tough Guy. And, yeah, he started cursing at me. And Bart asked Bart about it sometime. He legitimately thought that
this is on
a month and a half into Bart and I knowing each other, he was going to have to physically take out Charles Haley.
And this was on air?
Yes.
And we got a good taste of the dump button that day, or at least how effective it could be.
How effective it was the first time, but then that was back in the day when if you hit it once, it wasn't good for another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it didn't really matter.
That was like the Model T of dump buttons. It was like every 5 minutes it would regenerate.
Anyway.
No, but to your point.
Have you ever come close to pissing somebody off enough on air?
I don't think that's ever happened. I don't think that's ever happened.
Yeah, I guess you're not that good of a host.
No, I am. We know that. I mean, we know that. That's true. I mean, I don't even know how I'm here. I'm surprised my ID worked when I got in. What was the question?
Have you ever pissed somebody off enough to...
No.
It doesn't even have to be on air. How about off the air? Or what were we talking about before that?
Yeah. How do we get on the subject?
Because we were talking about the Jets, and you asked me, because I said that Bart and I were arguing, and you were the one, once again, you were the one that grabbed the wheel.
That's true.
And then you bear no responsibility for the problem. So, that's fine.
Burt Ward. Go ahead, come on. You're the one steering this thing off the road.
No, I'm not.
trying to get back focused.
Burt Ward is not grabbing the wheel.
I dropped the Burt Ward. Half the people probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but we can have a nice conversation.
Here's the point.
Yeah.
When it came to us arguing the other day, it was about if the Raiders actually would consider moving off the pick and moving back one spot. Where do you draw the line if you're the Jets to try to get Fernando Mendoza? My argument here is simply that the Jets are in a position as an organization. It brings me back to not the person who actually executed it, but I think this line from Dave Gettleman when he hired Pat Shurmur, and trust me, I know that's the bad example, but he said, we needed an adult in the room. I feel like the Jets, in never having found their quarterback, really for the long term, need an adult in the room. And to me, that's Mendoza. Considering where he is, he's going to be 23. I think he's 22 right now. Be 23 at the start of next season. I think Mendoza is somebody that you would bring in. And while the ceiling may not be ridiculously off the charts high, I feel like the floor is very high on Mendoza. And that's not the worst thing in the world. And the word to me is stability. Can the Jets have stability at the position if you're going to draft somebody? Mendoza's that kind of guy. So I kind of feel like there's a decent amount I would give up here. I might give up this second one this year plus to move up.
I just don't think it's going to happen because here's the thing. I think that if the Raiders move off that number one, which I kind of, gun to my head, I don't think they will.
I don't think they will either.
If they do, I think they're trading with a team. Like they're going to go trade for some like blockbuster quarterback.
You'd mean the Lamar Jackson.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You know, the Jets are only going to be able to...
I don't think it's happening now because of Harbaugh being gone, but anyway.
Unless the Raiders would want, let's say, you know, if you're going to do business with the Jets, you think they would want Brady Cook? I mean, do you think that would get you the number one pick?
I do.
You sure? Chris, you sure? I'm kidding. So that's where I avoid no hope, right?
I know you are.
Obviously, like I think that gets you something prized in return. I don't know if the Raiders are going to be satisfied with just picks. That's the thing. And I was saying this to John before the show, like, and it's just my own gut. This isn't anything like inside information or whatever. I think that push comes to shove. I think that that's going to be an area that the Jets look to explore this offseason before the draft.
Moving out of that pick?
Moving out of that pick. Not only that, just to go get an established quarterback on some other team. And when I say established quarterback, I'm not talking about a placeholder. I'm not talking about Kirk Cousins for a year and then draft somebody next year. I'm talking about you go get that guy who's going to be there for the next 5 to 10 years.
Well, who could be that guy?
Because we know there's only 2 or 3 guys, right, that would fit that criteria. Lamar, Burrow. I think they're going to do their damnedest to try to make it happen. I just don't know if they're going to be successful.
Yeah.
Right. Because you have to draw the line at some point, don't you? Like as far as asking price, you know. And I go back to what Aaron Glenn said last year. Now, look, this past season probably would have humbled a lot of people, how difficult it was. And I'm sure he learned a lot of things that he maybe didn't bargain for when he took the job and how difficult it was going to be. But remember when the whole Aaron Rodgers drama was unfolding, he kind of let it be known that he's not a fan of the so-called, celebrity quarterback. Didn't he say that at one of his things?
Yeah.
So if you're going to go and make a trade for one of these guys, you're bringing in a quote-unquote celebrity quarterback, right? Because the quarterback is in the NFL, especially if you've had success and you're a starter. So that's something that they're going to have to legislate.
But Matthew Stafford isn't out there for them. Like the guy who's a great quarterback who is not a celebrity quarterback is not really out there. Like Matthew Stafford is that guy.
I think by virtue of being a starting quarterback in the NFL now, you might say like, all right, you're not going to be like in page 6, but you're a celebrity if you're a successful starting quarterback in the NFL because everybody knows who you are.
Sure, but like not everybody is focusing on what the outfit is that Matthew Stafford is wearing to the game every week, whereas with Burrow or Lamar, they might be.
Well, I
and
mean,
more so Burrow.
Even Rodgers, for example. Rodgers kind of, for the most part, stayed out of all that page 6 type stuff this past year with the Steelers.
Well, because
right?
because he respected the organization and Mike Tomlin when he went there.
Right.
And us, what do you know? I'm not going to do Pat McAfee every week.
No more Pat McAfee. None of, so, but he's still obviously a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like, because he's a starting quarterback and he's had a lot of success in the league. But it's a risky proposition. Like we were talking about, like the baseball trades. Like, you give up prospects. You don't know what they're going to be, but you're bringing in something established. It's no different with these trades. You can have all these draft choices like the Jets have over the next 2 years, but they're lottery tickets.
Yeah.
Even if they're the second pick, the first pick, no matter what they are. Like Fernando Mendoza, you said, he might be great. He might not be great. He might just be okay. He might be a total bust. We have no idea. I think that from everything that I've gathered from talking to people in like the scouting community, even when Dante Moore was on the table, and you thought it was going to be a face-off between those two, Moore the higher ceiling, but out of all these guys, Fernando was going to be able to get the most out of what his ability would warrant. So there it goes back to that floor conversation, like because very cerebral, he's going to work his you-know-what off. He is going to empty the tank of all the God-given ability that he has.
Listen, if they're going to pursue either of those guys, I would not fault them at all. And you remember about a month ago when I brought this up to Bart the other day, when Cincinnati and Miami were actually playing in December. That morning of that game, Adam Schefter came out with a story that on draft day or leading up to draft day when Burrow was getting drafted, that Miami had offered 4 first-round picks to move up from 5 to where they were at 1.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I remember that.
And I don't know what the price is on Burrow right now. Is Cincinnati going to say 5 first-round picks? I don't know. But I'm not going to knock them for pursuing that first and foremost.
Well, you should.
On either one guy.
You should. You do your due diligence.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the worst they say? No?
Absolutely. Would you see? So, if the answer is no on all that, if Burrow's a no, if Lamar Jackson's a no, what do you do with the second pick then if you're not going to get Mendoza? Are you then moving out of it and getting more, or are you taking Arvell Reese?
Possibly. I think you have to entertain the idea of moving back because I don't think Arvell Reese is a slam dunk. Remember, he's another one of these guys. He's the defensive equivalent of what Dante Moore was. He's going to play game 1, like where Moore would have to stand on the sidelines maybe his whole first year. Like Arvell Reese would be on the field, but he's extremely raw still.
Right.
Like the ceiling, the athletic ability is through the roof, right? But it's not a slam dunk that he would necessarily be the quote-unquote safest pick at number 2. He could bust.
Yeah.
Depending on what defense and what scheme you put him in. Like, and I know it's a different position per se, but like,
so here's what I'm getting.
Remember the Vernon Golston debacle?
Oh, I remember.
But
But here's what I'm getting from you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to operate under an assumption that everything you say when it comes to the Jets is an educated opinion. Most of my opinions are uneducated. But I think in this case, that's what I'm going to go with.
Education, book study, all that stuff?
Well, no. Somebody has told you this is what we're doing, and you're forming it into your opinion. I think that's what's going on. So I'm going to just say this.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets are happy to have the lottery tickets to go and spend them on established things. That's what I'm taking out of it. That's what you're telling me, that they are trading all of these picks to get established quarterback.
No, I think that's an option on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't it be? Right, like I said, it's all about doing your
So you've
due
got the
diligence.
Burrow deal done by when?
Oh, I would love it.
Yeah.
But I what percentage would I put at that it's actually going to go down right now? I mean, no more than, 25%?
Yeah.
But I think it's something to explore. Here's what I will say, too. And I know I don't want to throw cold water on this whole thing, like the question you asked me about number 2 and what the plans are and this and that. Remember, they got a lot of salary cap space.
Yes, they do.
Okay? Let's not forget, and I say this often, and if people want to let it sink in, and I'm not trying to disparage anything that they've accomplished this year. Vrabel did a great job. Drake May did a great job with the Patriots this year. The Patriots spent more money in the offseason last year than any team in the NFL in free agency. Now, give them credit, though. They hit on a lot of them.
What's interesting about that is...
So it was money well spent.
Well, that's the thing. What's interesting to me about that is the Jets have done that before. The Patriots have done that before, and it hasn't worked. Now, this year it did for them.
It was, I mean, the Milton Williams, if you could sit there like team building as far as what free agency is all about, an ascending player entering free agency for the first time who has a world of ability but was buried on the depth chart because you had a all-time defense last year with the Philadelphia Eagles. And that was the problem with Milton Williams.
Yeah.
He couldn't get on the field consistently because those other tackles were monsters and they were great in their own right. He goes to free agency. Philadelphia can't pay him. New England says, thank you. They gave him a boatload of money. The guy was a freaking all-pro. He's a stud. You know what I mean? Like, that is like hitting a home run in free agency. Not signing a guy who's 32 and his best days are behind him, and you're paying a guy based on his name and what he did, back in his prime. Point being, Jets are going to go out there, I feel, spend a lot of money this year on the defensive side of the ball in free agency. There's going to be a lot of new players there. So my point is, if you fill a lot of those holes in free agency, maybe your plans then at number 2 are a little bit different, is all I'm saying.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. Dan Grassa in for Bart today, 800-919-3776. Also, over on the ESPN New York YouTube page. So by all means, go there and subscribe and watch the show and leave your comments, and we will get them in during the show, assuming that they're, worthy. All of that on the table, but the lines are open for you. So what is the line for the Jets? Is it on Mendoza, or is it on the established quarterback, or is it just simply using another pick on a quarterback later on?
And we already have a viral moment from the Stephen Ross presser. We will have to play that later.
Oh, I can't wait. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts means more ways to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in, take your shot on an upset, or build a parlay that fits the moment. Now, I am loving the Rams, so you can apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs keep rolling. So visit FanDuel.com/local and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts means more ways to level up your playoff bets. 21 and over and physically present New York opt-in required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Hey, it's Michael K. Not sleeping? Well, it could be your mattress. That's why I always recommend my friends at PC Richard & Son. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step mattress fitting process so that your new bed fits you perfectly. They guarantee it. Top brands like Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. And in-home delivery on any mattress $199 and up is free. So do what I do. Get to PC Richard & Son and for your new mattress. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
Thursday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Are the Knicks back on track after a dominant performance against the Nets?
First time that the Knicks have had a 50-point lead since 2013.
To go see them put it together for 48 minutes was a lot of fun.
Plus, after the Mets trade for Freddy Peralta, how would you grade the Mets pivot this offseason? Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696. And manage your diabetes as easy as...
I don't know. Tell me what... boy, I'll tell you, you can lose it very quickly on any topic, and it happened during the break, and you just walk back in here. And let me tell you something about the Girl Scouts.
Well, but I mean,
what a racket that is.
Am I right or wrong? Because I tell you, I got.
You're asking the wrong guy, because every time I walk into Starbucks on Saturday morning and they're standing outside selling those cookies, guess who they're looking at? Chunky. Right. Oh, cha-ching.
What do you go with? You go with the mints or the?
My wife likes the thin mints.
Mm-hmm.
I like I forget what they're called.
Is it the lemon ones or the chocolate peanut butter?
The chocolate peanut butter ones.
Tagalongs.
They're called tagalongs. The tagalongs are the ones.
Somebody's got. The
only problem with the tagalong is you dunk it. It doesn't soak in at all.
Well,
you have to take a bite out of the tagalong first, and then you dunk it in the milk. I'm a big cookie dunker.
Let's be real. I don't think they're the most wholesome ingredients that are putting those things together. But somebody from,
I forgot. I'm talking to Jack LaLanne.
That's true. How's he doing these days?
He's dead.
Does he have any places still? that was so morbid, by the way. That was so morbid.
And whenever you come in,
yeah,
it ages me in my references. Because I know you're going to get it,
yeah,
and I don't have any gun of governor.
Somebody from the Girl Scouts said, like, where is all the money going? Like every year, so now it seems like it's 2 to 3 times a year. Everybody and their mother's selling these Girl Scout cookies. Like, if you're on a travel team with your kid, they're raising the money for a fundraiser so they could go play in a tournament down in Florida or something. Okay, like where is the money from all the Girl Scout cookies going?
Well, I mean, Girl Scouts, don't they do, like, community work, and maybe they take
what
a
do you
trip?
need money for that for, community work?
They take, like, a weekend trip that they got to pay for.
I did community work when I was in the Cub Scouts. We went to some, crack-riddled park, and we cleaned up all the syringes on the ground. We didn't need money for that.
Speaking of a little dark, for Cub Scouts, it's a little dark.
Well, but at that age, we thought we were doing good for the community. We didn't know, like, hey, what is this needle? And back then, that was the Magic Johnson craze. So, nobody was even wearing rubber gloves back then. Remember, this is like the late 80s, for crying out loud. You know? No, but my point is, so what I'm saying to you, and this is why I said, we're going to have to start a GoFundMe page for me and my livelihood. A couple of days ago, my wife's telling me about, like, so-and-so is, we got to buy these Girl Scout cookies. Well, okay, whatever. I got a text 5 minutes ago. More Girl Scout cookies for more people. Like, do I have a sign on my back, or do we have a sign on the house that says, we'll buy your Girl Scout cookies?
Yeah.
Why are we the ones always getting hit up for this?
Because they think you have the disposable income with
but
no kids.
I don't even eat these damn things. We buy them and they just sit on the counter and end up going in the garbage when we find out, when we clean out the pantry, hey, these expired 8 months ago. We might as well throw them out.
I tell you what. Buy them. Bring them in.
You want the Girl Scout cookies?
I'll get them to find a good home.
We'll
find them.
Give them a good home. I'm going to find them a good place for the winter. Don't worry. We'll make them nice and cozy.
You won't ever have to think about it again. What are they now? $8 a box? They're at least $8 a box now.
Think about them.
$7 a box? Yeah.
7?
Who's hawking them here? Anybody here hit anybody up yet?
But am I wrong with where's the money going?
No.
That's all I want to know.
You just want accountability.
Thank you.
You would like to know where it's going. Specifically,
it's not the Pope. It's not a religious organization. They're the Girl Scouts.
Here's what I want you to do.
You think think the Girl Scouts should have a rep in Vatican City and they're knocking on Pope Leo's door? Hey, Leo, you want some Thin Mints?
He's an American now, so.
I know he's American, but he represents the world.
So now, would you go up to the kid, because that's where I always see them.
No.
Is outside Starbucks on Saturday morning. You would not go up to the kid. No. Let me finish.
Yeah.
If the kid approaches and says, would you like to buy some cookies?
Nope.
Outside Starbucks, you wouldn't even go up and say, let me ask you something. Where's this money going?
No, I'd have to ask an adult supervisor if they were
there.
there.
Well, their parents are going to be there, too. The kids are not alone.
Well, in some communities, they do send the kids out by themselves, which that mortifies me. I'm like, really? You're sending the kids out by themselves? They can't even cross the street.
So ask the kid where the accounting is. Give me a full spreadsheet about where all this money's going.
Susie, let me tell you something. You ever hear the expression, follow the money? That's what I'm trying to do right now when it comes to these cookies. Joe, am I wrong? A little accountability, that's all.
So you want them to just show them the books?
Yes. Yes.
Open up the books. Let's see your tax returns. Are you a charitable organization?
You know what's going to happen? How about, once we get into the work stoppage next year with baseball, you're going to hear all hey, if you're the player, you're the owners, open the books. Let me see the books. That's what the players are going to be. Get used to it.
Yep. So you just now have equated billionaire owners with the Girl Scouts of America.
I'd like to see the people that have, private jets and yachts. The Girl Scout logos on the side because people are buying these cookies at $8 a box.
Could be that guy who was running the NIL out at St. John's who embezzled about $1 million or so, allegedly, who got fired. Maybe he's running the Girl Scouts.
So he's out of a job, but he swears he wasn't embezzling. Is that what happened?
Yeah. And in classic Patino fashion, I don't know anything about it. They just told me, he's gone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right. Right. The guy who runs the entire operation is more powerful there than the school president.
I don't know. The father just told me he's fired, so that's all I know about it.
Monsignor said he no longer works here, so I just went along with it. Sure.
What Monsignor says goes.
Yeah. Get out of here, man. People believe this stuff, too. That's what's scary. People believe it.
Listen, I don't know where your Girl Scout cookie money is going. I'm someone that doesn't ask a lot of questions.
So basically, if you see me panhandling one day by the Lincoln Tunnel, it's because of the Girl Scout cookies.
You know what you could do? Maybe get involved with the Girl Scouts, sell some cookies.
There you go.
Make you some money.
How about that?
Yeah. Wait, you don't like burgers? Is there
I love burgers.
Is there
you're
anything
spreading rumors.
unhealthy that you would
burgers.
eat? Like,
love
you
burgers.
don't like cookies?
I'm at a burger Saturday because you're not going to be able to leave the house with the blizzard.
Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday. I meant Sunday.
I don't know. I'm
Saturday into Sunday.
I could run it. So I'm thinking Saturday because I'm going to do Carolina, Virginia, in Charlottesville, and the snow is supposed to start Saturday in Virginia, and so now my whole thing is consumed with how am I going to get home? Oh my God!
My hourly thing only goes up right now till 11 a.m. on Saturday, and it's still sunny at 11 a.m.
Still clean.
11 degrees, but sunny.
Listen. I can't get – if you had some Girl Scout cookies, you'd be certainly taken care of in terms of getting through the 24 to 48
Imagine if
hours.
you're just, like snowed in, and that's all you can you use to nourish yourself. Girl Scout cookies, you're pounding those for.
As long as I'm not
36
stuck with
hours.
those coconut.
The coconut ones don't do it for you.
Yeah, the bird nest things, whatever the hell those things are. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, they're not good.
No,
they're not good.
This has really just been an exercise in you taking complete control, but acting like you haven't. And
I don't think I've taken control.
No, this is the thing. This is what Dan does. I don't think that's happened really. But
how could I have taken control?
You plant little subconscious notes and during the break of, and let me tell you about Girl Scout cookies. Like I'm not going to bring that up.
Well, I think it was meant to be brought up because I think that you would probably have an opinion on that.
I certainly do.
I would want you to have an opinion on that. I'm not just going to throw things into the universe to have it fall on deaf ears.
I wouldn't call the Girl Scouts of America a sham, as you clearly are. But I would say
I didn't use that word though. I said there's something up.
We knew what you meant.
Well, no, my source of frustration is more at why do I look like the fool here, and I'm the one that constantly is.
I told you already.
Hit up.
You do not have kids. So the parents all assume that you have disposable income. That's it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah,
just like they look at me. It is an unfortunate. What's the word I'm looking for here? Characterization of me that the fat guy must like the cookies, so we should probably go over there and cash in. You know, it's what do you call that? I can't think of the word right now, of course. But, it's a generalization about fat people.
You want a new topic here?
Stereotype. Yeah, that's what it is.
You want a new topic real quick?
Please, God, yes.
There might be some hard times in the relationship world between a star athlete and his significant other.
That's next. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Welcome to Jake's 58 Casino Hotel, where excitement never stops. Unleash the fun with 2 floors of gaming action, featuring 1,000 cutting-edge video and electronic machines. Enjoy exceptional service at a prime location that places you right in the heart of Long Island's excitement. Stay and play in style with over 200 hotel rooms and treat yourself to a full range of dining options at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Show your team spirit and save big only at Security Dodge during the Start Something New sales event. For a limited time, score an extra $500 off on top of all rebates and new incentives just for coming in and wearing your favorite team's jersey or swag. High school, college, or pro, football, basketball, hockey, and every sport in between. It's easy to win big at Security Dodge in Amityville. Visit us today or shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets, so go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Hi, this is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. I've talked about how a construction accident took my father's leg. The heavy prosthetic he wore looked nothing like the high-tech limbs we have today. It was crude wood and metal, held together by bolts that dug into his skin and left painful ulcers. But the thing I remember about my dad is how he never complained. He put on his prosthetic leg and he went to work. He coached my baseball teams, danced, sang karaoke, and even loved to travel. He may have limped, but he always held his head up high and he lived with dignity. At D'Agostino & Associates, I spent over 35 years building a law firm that helps accident victims and those in need of their Social Security disability benefits. We fight till our clients get the money and dignity they deserve. So call us today at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey. So don't tell me personal injuries aren't personal. I know what they can cost a family. I've been there, and I'll be there for you. D'Agostino Law. Bite back.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-568-3344. 800-568-3344. 800-568-3344.
Step inside the game you love with the NBA app. Tap to watch every game as it's happening.
Jalen Brunson does it again!
And never miss a moment of the jaw-dropping action. Get closer to the players than anywhere else. Follow the latest schedules, scores, and stats. Keep up with every story from across the league. And with NBA ID, it's all personalized to you. The game lives here. Download today.
Game time brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 7:30 tonight. We have got National Basketball Association work. The Mavericks hosting the Warriors, coverage beginning at 7 right here on ESPN New York. Tullamore Dew is the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Before we get to the relationship situation, and it's not Travis and Taylor, by the way, here is Brian in Sleepy Hollow, who used to work for the Girl Scouts. Brian, where's the money going?
Hey, where the money's going? Well, I used to, their main headquarters, it's in Briarcliff Manor. These are all people, places, and things you can Google. I'm not BSing you. I worked at it was like a conference center, so sometimes it would be non-Girl Scout groups coming in, but mostly Girl Scouts. It's run by them, and they have a place called the Great Hall, and no male can go in there, and they have no joke, cloak and dagger type ceremonies where they wear the hoods and the shrouds, and they go in there and they have a whole hierarchy, and let me tell you.
What is it, like
a lot
witchcraft?
Of the group, a lot of the groups would come from the South, and the president at the time, they could drink. I was the bartender there, bartender and waiter, and a fun little thing.
What the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about?
This is all real stuff.
How did you turn this into like some sort of Eyes Wide Shut party? It makes it sound like
involving the Girl Scouts.
He did it.
The Great Hall. That's all I got to say. The Great Hall. But
I'm not going to do that because I feel like that's one of those things that would immediately set off alarms when you Google it. Put it that way.
Yeah, I think that's something you don't want to know about.
Let me just tell you, those ladies could party. They would. It's a conference center. They're coming from other places to stay, and they would tie some drinks on. I'll tell you, the brown liquor would be flowing.
A couple of pitchers of beer and some thin mints, and they do some wild stuff.
Oh my God! All I wanted to know is where the money was going.
And we didn't even get an answer to the question, so we still have no idea.
Unless he's saying that all that money just goes to ridiculous parties.
So they just have how frequent are the parties, by the way? These sounds like the things that you used to see at the Knights of Columbus or the Elks Lodge or something like that.
Yeah, but I can't even find a way to go down this road that feels anywhere like it's going to lead anywhere good. Like if Bart was here, I would have bailed out of this conversation a half hour ago. I at least can trust you a little bit on that front.
That's fair, yeah.
David and Elizabeth has been waiting a long time. What's up, D?
What up, fellas? Gracias. What's good, baby?
What's up, Dave? How are you?
Same old, same old. So we're going to talk about our organization as we always do, Gracias. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little upset that we don't know what DC or which DC it was that didn't want to go for an interview with us. Like, it's kind of embarrassing, man. Like, I don't know. It's just tough stuff, man. But honestly, I hope that it's either Wink or Jim Leonard, either or. And, that's what they're saying. Hopefully, one of those candidates would be good because I would like for Glenn to be successful, even though I'm not on Glenn's side right now. But, that's what I have to say with that. And before you guys let me go, I like what the Mets are doing. Hopefully, Stearns can stay aggressive. And, we could have a good offseason entering the season. Appreciate you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Do you feel what do you feel like is the ceiling on the Mets right now? Is the ceiling getting to the World Series? Is that possible? I mean, it's possible.
Well, look, when you're in the same half of the draw as the Dodgers,
yeah,
I think you'd have to say the ceiling should probably be the NLCS.
Right.
Right? I mean, because if you, let's say you make it that far and you lose to the Dodgers, who, are superpower, greatest team ever assembled, the Avengers, whatever, I mean, can you really be all that upset? You're probably not going to be favored anyways.
No, you can't be all that upset. That's the thing. You have to the bar across the board for any National League team has just considerably dropped.
Right.
That you have to clear because nobody for the next several years will expect you to beat the Dodgers.
And that's why when you're looking at World Series odds, for example, probably like American League teams might be favored a little bit higher, even if they aren't as good on paper, let's say, as some teams in the National League, only for the sole reason that they don't have to contend with the Dodgers.
And even to get there,
right,
that the American League did push the Dodgers as far as they could this year without getting over the hump.
I still don't know how they didn't win that. I mean, I still don't know how Toronto didn't win one of those last two games.
Stephen Ross here, just a little while ago, he's the Dolphins owner, and he is in the midst of his press conference introducing Jeff Hafley and the new GM, John Eric Sullivan. And this is Stephen Ross talking about Jeff Hafley, we think.
Enthusiasm, the knowledge, the background. Jeff stood out amongst them all.
What you miss in there is the video of the and then looking down at the sheet of paper.
See, here's the thing.
That just said Jeff.
And I give the Giants credit for this the other day, right? Not just hiring John Harbaugh. Who was the only guy that spoke other than John Harbaugh? Joe Shane.
Yep.
Joe Shane introduced John Harbaugh. I understand.
He looked pretty nervous doing it,
He was nervous, but, here at least he remembered his name. On the heels of what happened yesterday in Buffalo with that debacle of a press conference, you got the 80-something-year-old owner of the Dolphins up there, can't even remember the head coach's name. Not a good couple of days for AFC East owners.
Not really.
And maybe this is a lesson where, like, I know it's their team. They can do whatever the hell they want, but maybe get in their ear and say, yeah, maybe you don't have to talk.
Just in case you missed this from yesterday, and if you have, I don't know where you've been.
Yeah.
This is Terry Pagula on Brandon Beane and the Keon Coleman drafting of a couple of years ago.
The fact that you have not given Josh a good enough wide receiver room.
Yeah, can I interrupt? I'll address the Keon situation. The coaching staff pushed to draft Keon. I'm not saying Brandon wouldn't have drafted him, but he wasn't his next choice. That was Brandon being a team player and taking advice of his coaching staff who felt strongly about the player. He's taken, for some reason, heat over it and not saying a word about it, but I'm here to tell you the true story.
Yeah, okay. And then not 2 hours later, there were videos surfacing from draft night where it was pretty clear that Brandon Beane was awfully excited about drafting Keon Coleman.
Yeah. It was. I went to bed feeling good that it was going to be Keon and nobody else or something along those lines.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Like he was Vontae Mack.
Vontae Mack, and that's it.
Yep.
I mean, what do you and really imagine being Brandon Beane in that situation, right? Like he's the owner. you work for him, and he's up there hijacking the press conference, and he just has to sit there and kind of grin and bear it. While Pegula's sitting there digging a hole for himself that, keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and Bean's just got to sit there like, this isn't real life, is it? That's probably what he's thinking.
Yeah.
This isn't happening right now, isn't it?
It can't be.
I mean, and what you got from at least like the opening minute plus of Pegula at the press conference yesterday, if you didn't know anything about football, and hell, you didn't even watch the game on Saturday, just from listening to the owner who ultimately made the decision to fire Sean McDermott, he basically made it sound like he fired him because Josh Allen, his star quarterback, couldn't stop crying after the game.
And also kind of made it sound like he was the only one who cared.
Right.
That everybody else was just kind of there. And honestly, that was as embarrassing a press conference as we've seen in a long time. Yet, there's no real fallout from it, which, again, at this point, doesn't really seem to matter at all.
Well, what's interesting is that, our good friend R.J. Santillo, producer of the morning show.
I'm sorry, who?
He's a Western New York native.
Yes.
So he's a Buffalo Sabres diehard enthusiast on the hockey side, which is also owned by Terry Pegula.
Yep.
And so we've been, going back and forth with this whole thing and, the resurgence of the Sabres over the last month, which they really have. And they'll probably be a playoff team this year. At least they have a good shot. But what I was just talking to him this morning, and he said what a lot of football fans don't realize is the version of Terry Pegula that you saw yesterday at the press conference. This was the Sabres owner Pegula for a long time. And that's why that franchise couldn't get out of its own way and haven't been able to get out of its own way for the last 15 years. And now it's finally been brought over to the football side of things. And so it's kind of like refreshing in a way, he said. Because the hockey team now looks like it's great.
Yeah.
Now they know what they're doing. Hired Yarmo as the new general manager, and he's taking names, and boom, all of a sudden, they look like a well-run organization.
It's Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York YouTube page where you can go and leave comments and watch the show. By all means, do that. 800-919-3776. Lines are open as well. High noon coming up.
FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts means more ways to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in, take your shot on an upset, or build a parlay that fits the moment. Hey, the Patriots are traveling to Denver, and the Rams are traveling to Seattle. What's your feel? Then apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs keep rolling. So visit FanDuel.com/local and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Caught with a gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
It's Championship Sunday, and the Wiz has you covered. Who's going to the big game? Join one of the nation's top sports betting analysts, Joe Wiz, as he talks about Championship Sunday, New England at Denver, and L.A. at Seattle. Plus, the Knicks and St. John's are in action, and soccer, UFC, and horse racing from Gulfstream for the $3 million Pegasus. Follow the Wiz on Instagram at Joe Wiz Sports. It's the best bet in town. The Fine Line with the Wiz, Saturday at 8 a.m. Be ready to win.
Hey, it's Michael K. Not sleeping? Well, it could be your mattress. That's why I always recommend my friends at PC Richard & Son. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step mattress fitting process so that your new bed fits you perfectly. They guarantee it. Top brands like Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. And in-home delivery on any mattress $199 and up is free. So do what I do. Get to PC Richard & Son and for your new mattress. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Looking for the best meat and seafood at unbeatable prices?
Get to Wild Fork Foods. They offer the widest selection of meats and seafoods you'll find anywhere. Everything is blast frozen to lock in flavor and nutrients. From beef and poultry to seafood, pork, and even exotic and game meats, you'll get the best value for your buck. Visit one of their 7 locations across Long Island and New Jersey, or order online for same-day delivery at wildforkfoods.com. Wild Fork Foods, your neighborhood's meat and seafood market.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Hey, this is Mika Zibanejad.
Hey, this is Adam Fox. Catch every Rangers game right here on 880 ESPN.
WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin.
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Bart and Carlin. Covered that. Dan Grassa in for Bart today at 800-919-3776. 800-919-ESPN. Also over on the ESPN New York YouTube page where you can watch the show. By all means, do that. Do you want to handle the Power Hour? No? You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. It's the Power Hour. Boy, that was terrible. Yeah, listen.
It's fine. It's fine.
I feel like if anybody else does it, I just need to get a recorded one. That's what I need to have from here on, because I still want to do it for him, but it's disrespectful if I do it. It really is.
A little bit.
What's the point?
I mean, disrespectful is a strong word. I don't think anybody really cares.
No, they probably don't, but you'd be surprised the people that care that they don't get when they don't get it.
Well, but do you really think he cares? That's the...
No, but I still, to me, it's disrespectful. You know, like somebody might not, like I'm a big be on time guy because I feel like if you're late for things, you're being disrespectful of other people's time. And so other people may not care about that, but to me, I care. I care.
Right, but there's only one guy that you want to deliver that, phrase.
Yes. And I feel like there only should be. So,
like, I got to be honest with you, even to this day, when Drew Carey tells me to help control the pet population, you're not Barker.
No.
I'm not maybe as active about trying to control the pet population as I would be if Barker was telling me.
Maybe Drew's trying to do it as an homage, but come on, come up with your own bit.
That's what I mean. Like, you can't just, like, take over the baton of, like, being the pet guy.
Yeah.
Do something else.
You have
Girl Scouts, cookies. I don't know.
800-919-3776. We haven't gotten into it yet, but it was nice to see the Knicks actually blow somebody out last night. They won by 54. They beat the Nets 120 to 66.
It was the most lopsided win in the history of the franchise. Think about that.
Is there anything about it that would say anything to you about starting to get the ship righted? Because it does not for me. Like, the only bad things could have happened last night for me on the Knicks front.
So it was a no-win situation.
It really was.
But, I mean, winning by 54 is...
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That is, you went out and just destroyed somebody and took your aggressions out on them.
You know what's amazing? They actually had I think the biggest lead was 59. Can you imagine, like, it's professional basketball. They're getting paid money, both teams. Like, so even the other team, even though, like, they're not as good, they're professional basketball players. Can you imagine a 59-point difference in any time in a professional basketball game?
No.
And Adam Silver wants to sit there and tell me the product is great. He's going to go up there at All-Star Weekend and tell me how great the NBA is. And all. I mean, there was a game, like it came within 1 point of being the most lopsided game in the NBA this year. Because also two behemoths Charlotte beat Utah by 55 like about a month ago. And so the Knicks came within 1 point of having the most lopsided win in the NBA. But how the hell has that happened?
I don't.
This is professional sports.
But that's barely a team that's even. I'm shocked that they have 12 wins. I'm shocked.
What I didn't hear, though,
wins.
because I was doing the Knicks side of things last night, but what I didn't hear from the Nets, and I know the Nets are tanking, rebuilding, whatever the hell you want to call it. What was the postgame like from the Nets side of things? Like, what's Jordy Fernandez? Like, how is Jordy Fernandez not up there saying how embarrassed he is?
Let's check in with our Nets correspondent, Joe Leo. Joe, did you catch any of it? I'm not going to sit here and even pretend like I did. I was not watching the Yes version of the coverage last night.
I only saw Noah Clowney's post-game comments, and he was not all inspired by the effort put on the floor last night.
Okay. I'm guessing that Jordy Fernandez didn't have a whole lot to say that would enlighten me about what happened.
But that's one where if I'm, like a Net fan, like I want F-bombs. I want, it's unacceptable. I want, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's no excuse. That's not, I mean, you can't tell me. You know what? They played the Nets twice before this year. They weren't up by almost 60.
No. But then you go to the Knicks side, and this has been a stretch where they had lost 9 of 11 going into last night. It has been as bad as could be, whether it's the players-only meeting, whether it's anything you want to point to. I keep coming back to the same thing. And I don't know exactly how the situation is going to get itself worked out, but the cat thing is just, it's not going to work for the long term. And they may try to take a run at whatever they're doing this year and hopefully try to snap out of what's happened. But I feel like this can get away pretty quickly from the Knicks if they're not careful. Last night really did nothing for me to at least, I guess it steadied the ship for a moment. That's about it.
Also, fewest points scored by an NBA team since 2016, the 66. 2016.
Who was before that?
I don't know who the team was, but it was November 18th. We could see November 18th, 2016.
Don't give me a half an answer.
That's the date.
All right.
So you could go to the Hall of Records and look it up.
The Great Hall?
The Great Hall, yeah. No, but to your point, like big picture conversations with the Knicks. See, look, I don't think it's ever going to get to this point, but you remember it well. Doesn't this kind of give you a little Don Nelson vibes? You remember.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right?
A little bit.
No, I don't think Mike Brown's going to suffer the same fate to where Don got blown out before even making it through the first year.
No.
And
I don't think he will.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just, I said this on Monday after the debacle on Martin Luther King, right? Which was a debacle. As much of a debacle last night was for the Nets, that's how bad Monday was for the Knicks.
Yep.
You got smoked by a G League Mavericks team. We all sat here and were led to believe that you had to move on from Tom Thibodeau because if you wanted to get to the next level, which means championship, he won the guy that's going to be able to get you there, right? That's what we were told, and that's what everybody kind of just believed. Hindsight being what it is, my friend, what if we look back now and say, you know what? Maybe Tom Thibodeau got the absolute max out of this roster in a positive way.
Yeah.
That there's more flaws to this roster than maybe the previous coaching staff was allowing us to see because they did such a good job coaching them up.
Well, I think there was no question that when he first got here, that absolutely happened. Before they had the influx of talent that they did. And, the first Julius Randle year during the COVID lockout, or not lockout, during the pandemic, I should say.
When there were cars parked on the court, when there were no fans.
Yeah. And you have, I really feel like, so what was he the coach for 4 years?
Was it 4 or 5?
4 seasons or 5?
I don't remember, 4 or 5.
I feel like there was only 1 year where he didn't.
The second year, they missed the playoffs, yeah.
Exactly. So I don't think there's anything wrong with what you're saying at all. It's just you can't be James Dolan at the end of all of this. When you walked into these player meetings at the end of last year, and it was clear that they were tired of him, and now you brought in somebody that might not be as much of a taskmaster, but certainly somebody who's not shy about sharing his opinion, especially on guys like Cat publicly. If we were easing up on you a little bit, what happened exactly? Because you didn't exactly respond to that. So is the owner then going to fire that coach?
Well, here's the thing, too. And we see this, unfortunately, it's happened for the last decade, I would say, close to it with the hockey team that plays there. Remember, you had a core of players that got to shuttle through coaches left and right. That so-called core. That core that didn't win anything. I mean, if you want to take bows for getting to the conference finals, congratulations. But remember, they got rid of, first it was David Quinn because David Quinn was coaching them too hard, and they got him out of there. Then they brought in Gerard Gallant. They had success right away. They won the President's Trophy, all that stuff, made a run to the conference finals. But then after 2 years, that fizzled, and the players said, you know what, he doesn't coach us hard enough. So they got rid of Gerard Gallant. Then they bring in Peter Laviolette. President's Trophy the first year. Year number 2, wow, he lost the room. Get rid of Peter Laviolette. Now you bring in a guy who's so well-respected, and Mike Sullivan, with 2 Stanley Cup championships, but you're not winning. And you're in last place in the Eastern Conference. At the end of the day, maybe you look at the roster eventually and realize maybe it's the players, right? So, and to your point, what you said about Tibbs, great. The big move they made, Tibbs last year, was what? Karl Anthony Towns, okay? The same guy that now a year later, when Tibbs is out of the picture, everybody says they got to move on from, and he ain't the guy. So, was it a coaching problem? Was it a roster makeup problem?
I think it was more the latter, but they did. It's hard to ever make that argument.
And by the way,
when you get to the conference finals.
And by the way, did Karl Anthony Towns not have a All-Star / All-NBA season under Tom Thibodeau last year? And is he going to have an All-Star / All-NBA season this year under Mike Brown?
No. No, he's not.
I rest my case, counsel.
We're a little late to it, but it's time for High Noon.
It's High Noon.
Only the best production in the business for us.
Sometimes simple is better.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You know, give a little Western theme, Gunsmoke. Not Jazz Chisholm.
No. That's what we play for Bart whenever Jazz Chisholm's name comes up so that he can tie Denzel together with that.
Jazzly Chisholm.
Is his name Jazzly?
No, but it sounds cool, doesn't it?
Ish. Here's the deal on, you're familiar with how this works. It is 3 topics, and we go head-to-head right on them in somewhat quick fashion, and we'll see how that works out. So let's
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out fashion.
Exactly. Love the music in the background.
By the way, real quick, I know it's high noon. I know I don't want to drive the show
right.
off the road. You know, we're here. We still got till 1 o'clock.
Do what you got to do. This music's on a loop.
Right. From this.
It says 16 minutes and 24 seconds on the loop.
I don't need 16 minutes, don't worry, but because it ties into that Mike Tyson's Punch-Out era.
Yeah.
Did you see the trailer, by the way? Like, do we need a Masters of the Universe He-Man live-action movie that just dropped today?
I had no idea.
I'm not kidding you.
Wow,
Trailer
really?
dropped today. It's part, human beings and a lot of CGI and stuff like that, but do we... I thought the Dolph Lundgren vehicle from, 87? I thought that sufficed. I think we can move on from He-Man, right?
No new ideas.
No new ideas.
No bad ideas. No
new ones. No.
Round 1, fight! Would you rather have Freddy Peralta or Framber Valdez?
I would rather roll the dice on I think it's clear, Freddy Peralta. Because I'm also going to allow myself to take on like an asterisk with that. It's Freddy Peralta and Tobias Myers, who people are sleeping on. That's a valuable bullpen arm that they just got, who can also spot start too in that trade. So give me Peralta and Tobias Myers over what I would have had to pay Framber Valdez for probably at least 3 years.
And the fact that it's only 1 year for you like that.
Bingo.
Yeah, for me, I would personally rather have Framber Valdez. Framber Valdez,
because you're not a Mets catcher, that's why.
Well, yeah. Listen, he's got some jerk in him. I don't think that's always the worst thing in the world, and sometimes people have to learn lessons the hard way. I would say that Framber Valdez, he's just one of those guys that, to me, it feels like I want to have on the mound when it's a game that matters. And because I feel like he's got a little edge to him.
No, he's a proven postseason pitcher.
And it might have been a 3-year thing, but it wasn't going to be a 6-year thing. I wouldn't have had a problem with that. Peralta is coming off a career year. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and you can tell me if I'm wrong here, he had not had a year where his ERA was under 3 before this past season in probably 4 or 5 years, something like that. And he certainly had never won 17 games before. That number was more like around 12 and 13. So for me with Valdez, he feels like more of what would have fit the bill for what they were actually looking for. I do wonder if David Stearns is influenced at all by the fact that he obviously knows Peralta and has been around him before.
I think there's a familiarity there that helps, right? I mean, you know the guy, and so you could trust him, what we're asking him to do, what we're looking for. I think all general managers, coaches, they have their guys, right? And that was actually one of the first big trades that Stearns made, believe it or not. Remember Adam Lind?
Vaguely.
Like an infielder.
Yeah.
Kinda, he was a guy they sent to Seattle back in the day, and then one of the young players back was Freddy Peralta. But it turned out to be a good trade. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Stearns is necessarily trying to make, Milwaukee East, but guy won a lot of games there. They kind of pooped themselves once they got to October, and that was the bugaboo. But they found a way to win a lot of games on a shoestring budget.
Round 2, fight! Are you concerned the Jets do not have a defensive coordinator yet?
I kind of am. I would like to get this done sooner rather than later because primarily it feels like they might be the ones at the very end still looking for a chair when the music stops. And then you end up just giving it to somebody that you don't necessarily want to give it to. That ends up being your fifth or sixth guy on the list. I get it might be a bit of a tough sell with what Aaron Glenn's position could be next year based on what we all think. I still don't know that Aaron Glenn is going to get fired in the middle of the season next year. I don't see that happening. But I still would rather have that position done sooner rather than later just to at least tell me I'm not going to end up settling for the bottom of the barrel.
When you bring that concern up, like you said,
I don't want to be everybody's backup plan.
Like fifth or sixth, just paraphrasing,
right.
Like what you said. Could it be any worse than what it was last year? I mean, I'm
every time we ask that question,
I'm spitting
the answer
facts.
is yes.
I don't think how. How?
I don't really want to speculate about it.
You want me to put together a highlight reel those last 5 games? The bullet points.
No.
I'll do it. You sure? The key moments.
Yeah.
Ask Ray. We lived it together the last 5 weeks.
I told Ray, and I said at the time, I did not watch the last game of the year. Couldn't even tell you what uniform color they had on that day.
The retros. The Joe Namath
Didn't
ones,
need
the
to know.
Good uniform.
Did not need to know.
So you missed the Bills in their red helmets.
I did.
That's a good look.
I don't know that I would say that I missed it.
Josh Allen wasn't crying that day.
Anyway, point being, you can say that if you want. Every time somebody says that, well, it can't be any worse. Like half the time, they somehow find a way. Not just the Jets, anybody.
Bob, statistically, you can't get much worse. I mean, on all fronts last year on that defense. So I'm pretty confident in saying I don't think it could get worse. Here's the thing. Like I said to you earlier, I'd be more concerned if I was a team that didn't have a head coach right now on January the 22nd, and there's, 6 of them that still need coaches. I don't know if Jim Leonard's going to find his way back here because he's highly coveted, and if he's going to have his, as Chris Rock once said, a man is only as loyal as his options are.
Yeah.
So I think that Jim Leonard might be trying to seek out greener pastures, no pun intended. I think ultimately at the end of the day, Wink Martindale will be the guy. And if the Jets end up with him as their defensive coordinator, you could do a hell of a lot worse.
Hey, if he ends up being the guy, I'll be absolutely thrilled.
And I'll make a bold prediction for you. Jets get an interception this year.
Look at you.
Huh?
Look at you.
Huh?
You know what you are? You're out on that limb.
I'm out on that limb.
You're by yourself.
I'm
but
walking
you're out
a
on that limb.
tightrope.
You're out there on your own, though.
Round 3, fight! What would surprise you most from the conference championship games this weekend?
Dan?
Oh, boy. Trying to remember what my answer was 3 hours ago when we planned this all out.
You want me to whisper it to you?
Write on a Post-it note and send it over to me. No, I know.
You'll read it out loud. I know for sure.
My surprise this weekend. And look, you got two games. They're conference championship games, right? They're supposed to be good games. The 4 best teams. My surprise would be if one of these 2 games was a blowout. Like it was Knicks Nets,
Yeah. If anyone gets blown out.
If it was Knicks Nets, what did I say? If we get a replay of 49ers Seahawks from last weekend, that would be seriously, that would be a huge, huge, huge surprise to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think these are going to be 2 really, really close. I mean, the freaking Seahawks-Rams, for those that don't know, they played twice this year. Total points for the 2 teams separated by 1 freaking point. Total yards for the 2 teams, 1 yard. You can't make that up. You couldn't be any closer. They were both really, really entertaining games. And, God, I hope we get another one on Sunday. Snowed in.
You are really looking forward to being hunkered down in your house, aren't you?
Here's the problem that I find. Are you a satellite guy?
No, because of this.
That's the problem. I have to have broom handy.
To go up there and dust that thing off?
Yes.
Why? I mean, it's not a knock on it, but why are you still doing it when this is a concern?
How often does it snow?
But bad weather, summertime, thunderstorms, that happens every once in a while,
That's temporary. Then you just hit the button and you go to standard def for 5 minutes, and then you're good to go. Then it blows over.
Okay, then I haven't had satellite in long enough.
Yeah.
Because
I know all the tricks.
I had it 15 years ago, and that was the problem.
I mean, think about it. We haven't had a bad storm, like to where it would actually warrant that, in 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
So 365 times 4 outweighs 1.
All right, whatever. Meanwhile, it's on Championship Sunday, so good luck with that.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
You know what it is? You got to keep on it.
You know what would really surprise me?
What would surprise you?
If Drake May plays well.
Is it safe to say
what
you're
I'm saying.
down on Drake May?
I'm down on Drake May just because he hasn't played well later in the year, the last couple of games in particular. And granted, it's been a little bit more difficult. I have really been very late to the Patriots party because I've been skeptical all year with what their strength of schedule was. People have heard me talk about it on the show. It was below a winning percentage of 400 of teams that they face this year. Then,
not to mention the fact week 1 they lost to the Raiders.
Exactly.
How did that age?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes. And now, I have not exactly been blown away by them these first couple of weeks either. So I would honestly think that going into Denver against that defense, I would be very surprised if Drake May plays well in that game because that defense is so good. I'm not saying that they won't win the game because I just feel like that's going to be a really low-scoring game. But I personally don't believe that Drake May is going to play particularly well.
So, if I'm reading it right, there's not going to be one team this weekend that if they lose, you're going to say, oh, that's an embarrassment that you lost that game.
I don't think you can say that.
Because you're saying, obviously we know Denver's got a real good defense. So even if the Patriots, even if they lose to Jared Stidham, if that defense goes out there and balls out, then...
The only way that I would be saying that afterward it would be, how did it happen?
Right.
Like if there was some sort of extenuating circumstances to it, then maybe I'm saying that. But right now, just in normal circumstances, I can't point to any of these teams and say they'd be a complete embarrassment if they lost.
I mean,
if they lost in brutal fashion. Maybe.
Right. I mean, look, you're down to the Final Four. This is what it's supposed to be, right? And I'm trying to, obviously, because so much has happened. Has there been a game this year in the playoffs where you, you look at a team like, oh, my, how'd you lose that? Did anybody choke away a huge game in the playoffs this year? I'm trying to remember.
Well, the last couple of weeks.
Buffalo, Denver, Houston, New England. No, I don't
want to say. The Packers. The Packers losing.
Oh, the Packers. Game. Yes, yeah. The Packers. The Packers. Right. So if a game unfolds that way and you're looking at them like, oh, how do you lose that game?
Yeah, that's probably the only way.
But that's the other, with Denver too. And I know that you're playing with the backup quarterback, and I mentioned that to Jason McCourty when we had him on. Denver's pulled so many games out of their you-know-what, winning all these one-score games. And I know that their defense is really good, but Bo Nix has made a lot of good plays in the fourth quarter. You look at Bo Nix' fourth quarter versus the rest of the game, he's sensational. They don't have that guy now. So that's why I'm a little bit skeptical that they're going to be able to pull this one out.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York YouTube channel, where you should go and subscribe and watch the show and like the show and comment on the show, where we'll get some comments in. Matthew and Rye next on ESPN New York with Grassa and Carlin. What's up? All right.
Howdy, guys.
What's up?
I'm just a little bit skeptical about the Mets offseason acquisitions. I've seen a lot of positive chatter online about it, but it seems like after the 4-hole, the lineup, I'm not impressed with. The whole thing feels like a pivot on a pivot on a pivot. You have Nolan McClain, 9 starts, looks great, but that's your number 2. It just doesn't. I'm not super in love with everything they've done.
Nolan McClain might be your number 1 by the time you hit June and July.
Are you surprised at this point that they didn't actually trade Senga? Dan or
I didn't know
Matthew?
if you were talking to me.
Either one.
I think they tried.
Oh.
Yeah.
They tried. They didn't get any takers to what they wanted back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I'm out on Senga.
I can understand that.
Because you can't.
That's why I'm asking if you're surprised they didn't move him.
I think they tried.
Yeah, but did they? Was what their asking price was too much?
That might have been the case because I know that like last year, I mean, they thought that he was an ace.
Yeah,
and he was. I mean, it's crazy. The thing about Senga last year before he got hurt, like the freak injury. Like I remember saying, like he had like a 1 ERA or something. Like he led baseball before he suffered that injury. But when you watched every single start, you didn't think you were watching dominance. Like, you watched Jacob deGrom when he was in his heyday, blowing people away. He looked like he was pitching against little leaguers. I never thought that watching Senga.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I felt like I was watching a guy who was on a pretty good run. Anyway, go ahead, Matthew.
Well, as I say, if you're not going to get much from him, I don't think the Mets are in the business of trading away any starting pitching. If anything, you should be adding them. You're going to rely on Holmes as a number 4. Yeah, he surprised everybody. He did well last year, but threw a lot more innings than he ever had. In my head, I thought at least 2 super reliable guys. And, you know, they may still add a Valdez. And, yeah, he is a head case, but seeing him pitch against the Yankees all those years, it's not somebody you want to face. Just bulk the one weakness up. I know they were going to get rid of Alonso, it seems like no matter what. But it just kind of, again, feels like a pivot on a pivot. And they're all short-term deals to where next year Bichette could be gone. Peralta could be gone. And I definitely like Freddy Peralta, but again, as like the anchor of your staff and that one weakness, not to retread old history, but how much different would this team be if you would have just kept the 2 guys whose names shall not be mentioned and then added a starter or 2?
I get what you're saying. I just want, I asked this question to you off the air, and I want you to think about it for a moment, and we'll revisit it in just moments. Can Freddy Peralta play the role of Mike Hampton this year?
It's a good question.
Can Freddy Peralta play the role of Mike Hampton for the Mets? 800-919-3776, Bart and Carlin. ESPN New York. Grassa in for Bart.
You pick Senga?
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Hey, football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown in the game, but his teammate scores instead. If this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead.
Really?
That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. With BetMGM's Second Chance offer, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Try a first TD scorer wager with confidence today. BetMGM. Make it legendary.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. New Jersey only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Thursday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Are the Knicks back on track after a dominant performance against the Nets?
First time that the Knicks have had a 50-point lead since 2013.
To go see them put it together for 48 minutes was a lot of fun.
Plus, after the Mets trade for Freddy Peralta, how would you grade the Mets pivot this offseason? Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
That's ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
Hey, sorry I missed you. Your call is very important to me. Just not as important as the New Jersey Lottery's Green Ball promotion being back on Pick 3 evening drawings. See, if the green ball's drawn, that's a free second chance to win? So, yeah, you get it. It's only through February 1st, though, so try me after then?
Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. For game odds and promotion details, visit njlottery.com/pick3.
Why do you go to Princeton Longevity Center?
We go to Princeton Longevity Center because my husband's cardiologist told him having this exam saved his life.
Because somehow 20 turned into 40, and now I need to take my health more seriously. The Princeton Longevity Center designed a program to keep me healthy and active, so 50 and 60 will be no sweat.
Because even though my cholesterol is high, it turned out my arteries are clear. That's a big relief.
Whether you want to make the most of your future years or just want peace of mind, you need the Princeton Longevity Center. Their comprehensive preventive exam combines the latest technology with caring experts to create your personal plan for staying well.
Because I shouldn't have to wait an hour for a 10-minute physical. I go to Princeton Longevity Center because I get everything done in one day and take my results home with me.
Find out why you need Princeton Longevity. Call 888-8000-PLC or go to PrincetonLongevityCenter.com. Call 888-8000-PLC. That's 888-8000-PLC.
Show your team spirit and save big only at Security Dodge during the Start Something New sales event. For a limited time, score an extra $500 off on top of all rebates and new incentives just for coming in and wearing your favorite team's jersey or swag. High school, college, or pro, football, basketball, hockey, and every sport in between. It's easy to win big at Security Dodge in Amityville. Visit us today or shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com.
Do you know what to do if you're stuck on the railroad crossing? Get out of your vehicle. If a train is not approaching, find the blue and white emergency notification system sign on the traffic signs at the crossing. For help, call the number on the sign and give them the crossing number so they know your location and can alert train traffic. Remember, find the blue and white to save your life. For more information, visit oli.org.
After wanting one for years, Kevin is finally enjoying his new hot tub.
This is the life.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so now he could be a little bad.
Oh, no, not my phone.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin's phone may be in hot water, but his finances aren't. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Dan's getting stuff done. Got a new battery. Got a new headset cord.
Let me tell you something. And I'm just a public service announcement to anybody out there. You really want to spruce up your vehicle? I know it sounds like I'm doing a live read here. You want to spruce up your vehicle, give it a little kick in the you-know-what? Some people, go to these wellness retreats and get the full treatment. They come out feeling like $1 million. Pop a new battery in your car just for you-know-whats and giggles.
Oh, guess what?
It feels like you're driving a brand new car.
Look at you. I'm not doing that because I did it for blanks and giggles. I'm doing it because my car wouldn't freaking start yesterday. And that's twice now in the cold that this has gone down. And I replaced the battery 2 years ago. And already I just have found out I got to replace it again. So now I'm getting it replaced as we speak.
So without having any tools or equipment or anything, I just had a sense that my car was maybe going to be...
Are you in tune with your car? Like, do you and your car have an emotional connection?
I've had it long enough because it's super trustworthy. So I think we know each other pretty well.
Right.
And like I said, I just thought that some things were maybe trending in the wrong direction. And I thought to myself, I know I'm going to need a new battery.
I know my baby.
I took it upon myself yesterday. Never done this before. Took it upon myself. Took it to a place. I said, how you doing? You're going to think I'm crazy. Do me a favor. Battery check. I'm not feeling it. They did the battery check. 9%. I could have been you if I didn't take it upon myself. I said, put a new one in there. Works like a charm. I could have been you. Winter, freezing, stranded, cold, batteryless.
Really put a big spring in your step.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So you actually notice a difference with your car the way it rides right now.
It's unfreaking believable. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
How do you notice that a new battery has made a huge difference?
Well, for one thing, one of the things it wasn't able to do, like especially on those like super cold mornings that we've had.
Yeah.
When I've had to be up like bright and early, you like to maybe give it the remote start, heat up the car a little bit. It wasn't
little bougie.
Wasn't
bougie remote start.
Wasn't
Fire it up?
Yeah, I wasn't doing that. So I figured that might be battery related. So there were the warning signs.
Look at you.
Yeah. You don't do the remote start?
Even if I had it, would I know how to do it? Probably not.
2 clicks.
It's not no, it's not on my keychain. Like, I think there's an app that you can do it, but I don't.
I've become very car-centric over the last little while because before this whole battery thing, guess what else I did? I see. I feel like I'm bragging.
It comes across that way.
I don't want to put you feeling like inferior from a car standpoint here. Here's what I did.
Let me tell you something. If I'm going to feel inferior,
yeah,
there are a lot more reasons than just a car.
Key fob. That what wasn't working as well as it should. Wasn't getting the lock here in the honk, like we're doing. Guess what I did? Guess what I did? Change the battery.
You cracked that sucker open.
Crack that sucker open. Crack that sucker open. Put in a new little, the round circular little batteries that you can put in like watches.
CR198.
Oh, the CR, whatever the hell it is. Works like a charm.
I mean, I hate to break it to you.
I'm locking cars left and right. Bing, 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 bing. Like there's no tomorrow.
I hate to break it to you. Like,
yeah.
I'd be more alarmed if you couldn't do that. I mean, even I could do that. Change a battery in the little key fob.
It's more about like having the initiative to go do it.
Okay.
And so I gave myself a nice little, little pep in the step to go do it.
Well, you're something.
I might open up in a garage just for a hobby.
Here's what I know. I'm probably going to be out $400 later today. That's probably what we're looking at.
Mine was less than that.
Less than that?
Yeah.
All right.
In that ballpark, but less than we didn't hit 4.
If I bring it in, I automatically assume that the first number is going to at least be a 4. If I'm just bringing it in anywhere, I didn't go to the dealer this time, thank God.
No.
Which I know better, but I don't, apparently.
To quote Costanzo, who brings their car to a dealer?
Yeah, no, I did a few months ago, and that turned out to be a complete disaster. It was because it was based on like a, the dealer could only fix this kind of thing.
That's the problem. They get you with these cars because everything's computerized, and they got to plug it into. That's how they get you.
Right.
Yeah. That's a charade.
Dan in Westchester is up on ESPN New York. Dan, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, man? I understand that the Giants probably don't have the chips to move them, but I just feel like Justin Jefferson is going to die out there in Minnesota, kind of like Christian McCaffrey did out in Carolina. Do you think there's any teams that have the pieces to move him? Do you think Minnesota would move him in a rebuilding phase?
But here's the thing.
Anywhere else?
Minnesota doesn't think they're in a rebuilding phase. Minnesota is very happy with their defense. I mean, they literally just announced they're keeping Brian Flores if he doesn't get a head coaching job as their defensive coordinator. They think they're pretty good defensively. And if you're trying to develop J.J. McCarthy, are you trading away Justin Jefferson? No.
Did they pay him already, too?
Jefferson?
Jefferson got the extension.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so obviously they had plans for him. My thing, though, with Minnesota, and they could deny it till the cows come home, I'm not sold on J.J. McCarthy yet.
Neither am I.
Right. So they may have that fork in the road. I don't know when it is, to where they're going to have to decide, does it really behoove us to have a guy like Justin Jefferson on our team making all that money if we don't have reliable quarterback play? Because if you don't have a good quarterback, what point is it in having a stud wide receiver?
I think it's completely fair to ask, but I don't think they're going to give up on McCarthy yet and then trade away Jefferson while they're still trying to figure out whether McCarthy can be the guy.
I'll tell you, Sam Darnold's 2 wins away from making them look really stupid.
You think Sam – how do you think Sam plays?
There's nobody I'm rooting for more.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Well, Sam's a good guy. It's hard not to root for him. And I do think it was a bit of a raw deal he got here.
Oh, of course. I mean, look, it was a victim of circumstance with the timeline and everything, just the way. And even in Minnesota, I mean, like, it's just, I mean, when they decided to move, just like deciding to punt away 14 wins as if, anybody could win us 14 games. Well, they found out the hard way this year, Minnesota. It's not that easy to win. And it's just, it's crazy what he's accomplished the last 2 years, like him and Brady, the only 2 guys. When you're in the same sentence with Tom Brady as the only 2 to do something, to win 14 games or whatever with 2 different teams in consecutive, like it's crazy. But I'm happy as hell for him. If I had a Seahawks jersey, I'd put it on and root for him. I hope they do it. I really do.
Yeah, to me, it ultimately is just going to be more about the dominant unit of the Seattle defense versus what we're looking at with Matthew Stafford and the season that he's had and the career that he has had and all the experience he has. Is this another opportunity for him to get home here?
I'll tell you, it's. I don't want to say it's going to be easier, but I thought the Bears were a little bit of pretenders this year because we talked about Denver pulling games out of their unit. Like
Bears had a ridiculous turnover.
Bears were like miraculous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they didn't have a great defense at all. The Bears had 6 or 7 games where they were trailing at the 2-minute warning and they won. That doesn't happen. And then, for what the Rams did last week, even if that wasn't anything close to the 85 Bears, but to play outside, 4 hours in Antarctica, sometimes things don't fire the way they should, and for them to pull out that win, I thought was impressive. I really and truly do. So it's going to be on a little bit more even playing field as far as the elements this week. I think it's going to be a slugfest. If you're asking me which of the 2 games is going to be more competitive, I think it's the NFC side.
We'll get back to Peralta, Mike Hampton, and the Mets in moments. Bart and Carlin.
That is a trio.
ESPN New York.
FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts means more ways to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in, take your shot on an upset, or build a parlay that fits the moment. Now, I am loving the Rams, so you can apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs keep rolling. So visit FanDuel.com/local and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts means more ways to level up your playoff bets. 21 and over and physically present New York option required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
When it comes to meat and seafood, selection matters, and no one beats Wild Fork Foods. To everyday essentials, to high-quality steaks, to seafood, and more, every product is blast frozen to lock in peak flavor and freshness, so you get restaurant-quality meats at home for amazing prices. Shop in person at 7 locations across Long Island and New Jersey, or you can order online for same-day delivery. It's easy, it's convenient, and the prices are wild. WildForkFoods.com.
Hey, it's Michael K. Not sleeping? Well, it could be your mattress. That's why I always recommend my friends at PC Richard & Son. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step mattress fitting process so that your new bed fits you perfectly. They guarantee it. Top brands like Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. And in-home delivery on any mattress $199 and up is free. So do what I do. Get to PC Richard & Son and for your new mattress. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
1 in every 6 men is likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime. That's why New York Presbyterian wants to remind men over 50 to book a prostate cancer screening. A simple blood test is all it takes. It could save your life. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester at locations near you. Schedule your annual prostate cancer screening today at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Hi, I'm John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, the injury firm. You know what's interesting about the words personal injury? The first word is person. And at D'Agostino & Associates, that word means everything. That's because I handpick every person in our firm, from the pleasant professional person who answers your call to the experienced person litigating your case in court. Because every person in my firm is an extension of me, and the only way to exceed our clients' expectations is to deliver the highest level of personal service every single time. And that starts with hiring the right people. You see, we know that every client is a person too. Someone going through the toughest time in their lives and deserves to be more than just a file number. At D'Agostino & Associates, we put the person back in personal injury. So call 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222 and ask for me, John D'Agostino. And let's talk about your case, person to person. D'Agostino Law. Bite back.
Rich Eisen here. Hiring for your small business can feel like a full-time job, but LinkedIn Jobs AI Assistant takes the heavy lifting out of it. It filters applicants based on the criteria you set and suggests 25 great fit candidates daily so you can invite them to apply and keep things moving. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen, then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI Assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a time out to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of New Jersey is offering buy one, get one 50% off and everyday 0% financing. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends January 31st, 2026.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope. It's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
I really am, off of the Freddy Peralta trade, I am curious as to whether he can have a similar impact. It was kind of the first thought for me when I was thinking about guys who have done that before and have had a major impact, where you thought coming in, did you think that Mike Hampton was an ace when he got here? You thought he was a very, very high-end 2, if not a 1. But I don't know that you thought he was an ace when he was coming over from Houston in the trade with the Mets.
They projected him to be the ace.
Yes.
And the odd part about that year in 2000 with the Mets, Al Leiter actually was pitched as the number 1. Hampton got off to a real slow first half of the season. You could tell that it took him a while to get adjusted to New York and all the changes, but then he was the NLCS MVP, and he was fantastic like the second half of the year. Started game 2 in the World Series. He walked a bunch of guys, didn't have a good start. That was the Piazza Clemens game with the thrown bat. He wasn't good that game, but and then he left in free agency. So you're asking me, could Freddy Peralta be a guy to get this team back to the playoffs? I don't think
I'm not expecting him to be the MVP of the NLCS, to be clear.
No, but I think that it's a good parallel because I said, whatever you want to brand him, I still think at the end of the day, Nolan McClain's going to be their best pitcher this year. I'm all in on the Nolan.
You really
McClain.
are.
I really am. All in.
Does that have more to do with McClain, or does it have more to do, not being all in on him, is it a combination thereof? Because you have not been high on Peralta's.
It's not that I'm not high on him. Like he's a very good pitcher, durable, takes the ball. But I scoff at the ace thing because to me, when I hear ace,
you think shutdown. You think Garrett Cole.
There's only like 7-8 guys of those in baseball that I would say ace.
And
just because you're the quote unquote number. If you're like the opening day starter, just because every team needs one and that makes you an ace, like I think there's more meaning to that. But no, Peralta's a guy like he hopefully is like a solid number 2. But as you said, last year was his best year. And is there going to be any sort of a, deterioration from that? I don't know.
Well, here's what I do know about Peralta is the first thing is the durability factor. Unless you want to be someone who says, well, it might just be due to get hurt. I mean, when it comes to
put
pitching,
on a Met uniform, it's, like I said, fait accompli.
It wasn't even that. It's just more of, as a pitcher, at some point it's coming, right? So with Peralta at this point, I feel good that they went and got him. The Mets are better today than they were yesterday. Can he have that kind of an impact on them? I think it's asking a lot. And listen, all of our bars have been lowered for what expectations are in the National League because of the Dodgers. Okay?
Absolutely.
Nobody expects to beat the Dodgers. I think it's unfair to expect the Mets to get back to the World Series this year, all things being equal and people staying healthy. That's asking a lot.
And I have no problem. And again, the fact you got Tobias Myers thrown in as well, who's a valuable arm for them. The price tag was going to be way, way, way too astronomical to even get involved in the Tarek Skubal conversations if Detroit was going to cross that bridge and move him, which still might happen because, things obviously are not going well with the arbitration stuff, and they may decide to just
You think
cut
they'll
bait.
do it before the season, though?
That's probably when you would do it because I don't think his value is going to get any higher. And remember, the more the season goes, It obviously isn't, because you're talking about a rental player. So like, would you rather have, let's say, 6 months of Tarek Skubal or 2.5 months? Like if they wait till the deadline, right? Like you're going to get a bigger return if you trade the guy before the season starts.
Dodgers right now are obviously the favorites in the National League. Okay, they are plus 120 to get to the World Series. Okay, if you had to guess, how far behind is the number 2 team? And give me 2, 3, and 4 as far as the odds in the National League to get to the World Series.
You said Dodgers are plus 120?
Yeah.
Right, just to get to the World Series.
Yes.
Plus 120.
To win the National League.
Oh, to win it. So this is only National League teams.
Yes, not to win the World Series, to win the league, to win the pennant.
Number 2, they probably have is it the Phillies?
No, Phillies are 4.
Phillies are 4.
Yep.
2 be the Cubs?
Cubs are 5.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mets 2?
Mets are 2.
They got to be probably, I would say, they're not plus like 1,000, are they?
Mets are plus 700.
700.
Yep.
And then 3 would be Atlanta?
Yeah, plus 750. Phillies plus 800. Cubs plus 1,000.
Interesting.
So the gap between the Dodgers and the Mets, plus 120 to plus 700. In the American League, the gap between the Yankees and the number 2 team, the Yankees are plus 410 to win the American League.
Mm-hmm.
The Mariners are plus 550, Blue Jays plus 600.
Isn't that amazing that the Blue Jays drop all the way to 3? And the Yankees basically, just as we talked about, are bringing back almost the same team, right? Almost the same team. And the thing about the Dodgers, like we all sit here and talk about this air of invincibility that they have. 2 years ago in the division series against the Padres, they were down 2-1 on the road in San Diego for Game 4, where they were 1 loss away from extinction, right? And that was before the Mets even got them in the next round. Last year, we all knew what happened in the World Series. They could have easily, probably should have lost that series to the Blue Jays. So they've come close to being picked off in consecutive seasons, and yet we still sit here and talk about how, they're Thanos with the Infinity Stones, and they can't be stopped.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know how anybody could expect otherwise. I don't know how you could. Meanwhile, I can't stop getting these alerts about this storm. I'll tell you what, if this is one of those storms that I got to hear about it for 5 days and it turns out to be nothing,
a dud,
I might even be a little more annoyed by that than getting 1.5 feet dumped on me.
But you'll like the reward of it, though, the fact that you don't have to deal with it.
I guess that's true.
Now, the weather just came on Channel 7 up here before, and our neck of the woods, they have like the projection map as 6 to 12, which is a wide range, I would say.
That's a very wide range. And that's like the headline that was just sent to me here says, one of the biggest storms in years is near.
Well, that's accurate because, like I said,
we haven't had storms.
Well, we haven't gotten a foot, I heard them say, since the winter of 21. So like February or January or February of 2021. So that's 5 years already. So that would qualify as years, biggest storm in years.
I guess it would, but I don't know.
Look, I don't want it either. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants to be inconvenienced.
But but I get more annoyed by the buildup. Nobody wants to be inconvenienced, of course. I'll deal with it. It'll happen. This is how different, and I'm being very kind to myself because I'm learning to try to be more kind to myself. This is how
like a New
different
Year's
I am.
resolution thing?
No, just therapy.
Okay.
I've got an appointment today. If you have any subjects that you think I need to cover, please feel free.
I got to think about it.
I'll bring it up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be kinder to myself. So I said this is what makes me a little bit different as opposed to, some might say, a jackass. I get more aggravated if you're going to build something up to me to be amazingly bad, and then it's nothing when it comes to weather.
Or building something up to where it's like it's the biggest thing since sliced bread and it disappoints or something
exactly.
like that. Like Ishtar. I went there. Bonus points if anybody gets that reference, by the way.
I might have gone Waterworld, but okay.
I never understood Waterworld. What was the other one that he did? The Postman, right? Il Postino. We're dropping movies here like it's no tomorrow.
Anyway, so come Sunday, if I have to hear this for 3 days, and like I just found out they moved up the basketball game that I'm doing Saturday from 2 p.m. to noon because of the impending weather.
Oh, that's huge.
Well, if I can get out of there, it is.
No, but that gives you, in essence, 2 hours extra to get out of there.
Yes. With all of that, right? With all of that, if there's not a foot of snow, I'm going to be really annoyed.
Yeah, but it's not like you had to, like, make other plans.
If you give me, like, a dusting. Well, no, I'll tell you what. Like, after we had a family get-together scheduled for in the D.C. area Saturday afterward. My nephew just got married, and we were all going to get together. Now everybody canceled coming in for it.
So you didn't go to the wedding?
No, the wedding was
like a quick
justice of the peace kind of thing. They just did it on their own.
Gotcha.
So, anyway, yeah. But
I was going to say, if you did the wedding and then had to go to this little shindig afterwards, it's like, what are we doing? Like, okay, you got married. Congrats. Like, why do we have to do it again? That makes sense.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean, what you just said is basically every wedding ever.
That has Girl Scout cookies. Congrats.
Thank you.
Girl Scout cookies. No, but that's...
Instead of cash,
yeah.
Here's a case of tag-alongs.
See, I hear what you're saying, but I could find the silver lining in this, is that then we aren't going to be snowed in for
No,
days.
I want to be snowed in at that point.
No, but
if you're going to torture me for 4 days, you better lock me down, buddy.
Remember, though, they're saying this is the Arctic tundra, and whatever does fall, it's going to freeze and basically stay like that for weeks.
All right, so I should just leave.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of which, that's what we'll do now because Michael Kay is on the way, and he is up next. And, of course, he will have the full breakdown on all of these discussions vis-a-vis the Mets trade for Peralta, Luis Robert, Bellinger being back, which happened at the beginning of his show yesterday. All of it is there for you with the K-Ster. He is next on ESPN New York.
All the way over Barzell, score! New York Islanders hockey is back at UBS Arena, and it's time to bring the family and make some noise. With more afternoon games this season, the Islanders have special kids-themed